24 westbound still closed between Old Hickory Boulevard and Bell Road for that overturned vehicle. Police activity blocking the right lane, 24 eastbound near the Antioch Pike overpass. And in Woodbine, police reporting a crash on Nolensville Pike just south of I-440. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hello, friends. Welcome in, one and all. My name is Matt Murphy, and conveniently, this is the Matt Murphy Radio Show on Super Talk 99.7 WTN, or at least last time I checked. It is Friday. It is August 22, 2025. You probably know these things by now. Did you know that it's episode 870 of our gatherings together, not only in the afternoons? We started it from noon until 3. More on that in just a moment. And now we're from 3 until 7 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. We're pleased and proud that each and every one of you have decided to join us. And I hope at some point over the next 4 hours, hopefully all of the 4 hours, but at least at a point or another, to inform, educate, amuse, entertain. I mean, my job is to keep you here through these wonderful commercial advertisements, and I hope to do my job every single moment of this Friday afternoon. It's First Amendment Freestyle Friday. We will be opening up the phones in a couple of minutes. They are not open right now, so do not try them, for I have a lot to say to you people, and you're going to sit there and you're going to like it. But before I say anything, we'll get the pleasantries out of the way. I've already started them. 870 episodes today. You can find us on Spotify, TuneIn, iHeart. We're on a multitude of apps. I mean, really, if there's an app that streams music or news or information and they're not streaming us, let us know and we'll get on there. We have our own, as a matter of fact, that you can check out, Supertalk 99.7 WTN. That's a good place to go to find all of the shows, from Dan Mandis and Nashville's Morning News to Chris Hand to Chad Benson, Matt Murphy, and the rest. And then there's Talk TV, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Rumble. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Rumble. And it's nice. I did not get asked 4 seconds before the show, and no offense to the non-present Jackson. We call him Fraction Jackson because you get about half what you ask for. We say that in love. I did not get asked like 3 or 4 seconds before the show started, hey, what are we going to call the show today on the television side of things, which is nice. Because I don't know, and then that puts me in a weird mood, and I'm like, I'm under pressure here. What are you asking me this for? My man who's behind the glass today, he just went ahead and did it, which I kind of like. Now, speaking of my man, he left. Did the guy behind you leave? No, he's there.
Ken's still there.
All right, we're going to say hello to the one and only, the news guru, the man in the magic corner closet, Ken Weaver. Hello, Ken.
How about you boys?
Ken, I've got something to tell you.
What's that?
It's football season.
Yes, sir. Football.
It is. And that's good. That's a good thing. I have something else to tell you. Or
What's
to ask
that?
you. Is it been a busy day back there in the newsroom?
Yes, I'm doing traffic today, too.
Holy shnikes. We got like 14 different people doing 14 different duties, to include the gentleman that I wanted to reintroduce to the program. I'm so pleased. Do we have some sort of, I feel like I've got to build this up and maybe build it up to a cricket sounder or something. Because it is the triumphant return of Headless Bell K. That's perfect. That's perfect.
Thought you'd like that.
Hey, Bell.
Hey.
What's been going on?
I'm just going to hang out for 4 hours.
Where you been? I hadn't
Over
seen
there.
You. I hadn't seen you in a while.
Over there.
I never see you. You have been over there. Love to have you back, brother. It's good to see you.
Yes, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, we'll have a good time today, I hope. I'm in a mood. I've got like 14 different bad things happening to me all at once, which makes for a great radio show. At least I hope that it does. We'll find out together. You can hit us up on the super text line. Not on the phone lines right now, but on the super text line, 615-737-9986, 615-737-9986. And eventually we'll open up those phone lines. It's Friday at 4 o'clock in about 50 minutes or so. I've got a number of things to talk to St. Clair about, to include the removal of this $500 million fine. Donald Trump was fined that amount of money when he was found, quote unquote, guilty of crimes in New York City. And old Big Tish has another loss in her column, as an appellate court has ruled against Big Tish in that judgment against Donald Trump. Big win for Trump. Big win for Trump at SCOTUS. And there was an interesting reaction by Ketanji Brown Jackson that I'll go over with Jay as well, because this seems out of bounds to me. Ketanji Brown Jackson is not seeing fit to just dissent in some of these cases. The woman does not seem to understand her role as a United States Supreme Court justice. But who am I to say? But I would say this, that in an unprecedented fashion, she's not only dissenting on the merits of the case, she's also pointing fingers at her fellow justices and basically accusing them of bias, which I don't know that there's a lot that they can do about it except to continue to rule on the merits of these cases and on the rule of law and on the Constitution of the United States of America, which is what they seem to be doing. So we will discuss that with Jay St. Clair in the 4 o'clock hour today. So we got a couple of stories. What do you got over there, Ken? I saw you. Was that you?
What's that?
Oh no, I just heard you bang. I thought you came on the radio to say something. I apologize.
Oh no, I was just I'm back now, and yeah,
I thought you were banging for emphasis. Put the emphasis on the right syllable.
It's
I
a
got
day,
words.
boys.
I got words.
It's a day, boys. It is a day.
Do we know, Ken? I have not kept up with it in the last 2 hours.
Yes, sir.
Been out of pocket. Do we know where Kilmar Garcia is?
Last I heard, he is on his way to Maryland.
Okay, so I'm not so sure I understand this. Like, did they secret him away in a fashion where Immigration and Customs Enforcement was not aware of it, or the Department of Homeland Security? Am I missing something? Was it not the determination of the Department of Homeland Security and Immigration and Customs Enforcement that they were going to detain him above and beyond what this judge has decided for release on the merits of that human trafficking case, which he is charged with? It's my understanding that ICE was going to detain him on the ICE detainer itself upon release. Why didn't we do that?
Yeah, that's a good question, because that was my understanding too.
So, I mean, either the judge in the case, I mean, was ICE not ready? Did they not anticipate this? We heard that he might get released like 3 days ago.
Yeah.
We heard that the possibility existed that he would get released today. It was, yesterday that I think the Tennessee Star reported that he asked the federal magistrate in Tennessee to issue an order restraining ICE ahead of his anticipated release date. And I don't believe that this judge in this case did that. But then there's a lot of questions, and I don't know that I have any answers for it. But why in the world was ICE not ready to apprehend him? Maybe they're just going to wait in Maryland and apprehend him there. Maybe they will detain him in Maryland where he is. I
do know that judge in Maryland ordered a 72-hour heads up before they deport.
Well, I mean, that's fine, but, I mean, detain it. Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, detain and deport, obviously a couple of different things, right? I mean, yeah. So I just don't I don't understand a lot of this. But Abrego Garcia is apparently out of jail, and apparently, according to reports, we don't really know, but apparently is heading back to Maryland. There might be some good news for me to report to you today on the fairground situation. I've heard a number of good reports that there perhaps is a deal close with the Metro Council and Bristol Motor Speedway and their parent company, International Motorsports or Motorsports International. I can never remember the parent company name, but it's Bristol Motor Speedway. Just say it that way. Apparently, we are closer than ever to a deal that reportedly John Ingram will not like, and do-gooder leftists will not like. So that means good things for the city of Nashville, in my opinion. I'll tell you what some of those details are.
Will we have any license plate readers at the Speedway?
we're going to get back to you on that, Bill. So we're going to get back to you. We don't believe that we have enough studies on that.
Oh, okay. We've got to do a few more of those.
We got to do a few more studies. You know what we ought to do in Nashville to maybe calm some of the fears from our civil libertarian friends and the political left that don't want any patrolling of any of the crime-ridden areas in Nashville. Maybe we should do a pilot program for the license plate readers where we set up license plate readers, in a limited fashion and really study that pilot program and then bring back the reports of the pilot program to the council so that they can make a better decision as to whether or not to have LPRs. Maybe we should do that, Bell.
I thought we did that.
So you're saying, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. We did? No, we did do that. You're messing with me.
So you're saying we did that?
Yes, we did that.
Yeah, of course we did that. God, bless it. People, yes, we did that. And now all is left is to bring the contracts for the individual. By the way, the council already approved all of this, all of the LPR stuff. They've approved all of it, except the individual contracts with the specific companies that are to run the LPRs. I will endeavor, and I've already started this effort, I will endeavor to have a member of the Mount Juliet law enforcement community on with me next week to talk about the Mount Juliet program and why it is so successful and what civil liberties, because I had a couple of people ask me about this. I'm a libertarian with a small L. I do not belong to the Libertarian Party. The Libertarian Party is a bunch. Well, never mind. I won't go into that. But I just don't belong to any club that would have me as a member. But I do believe in the political philosophy of libertarianism. That is basically just leave me the hell alone unless someone else is violating my rights. And then I expect that civilized society will step in through a law and order process and protect those rights that I am guaranteed by God and by the Constitution of the United States. That said, there are some civil libertarians that are like, I'm not so sure about LPRs. Does it protect my rights? We're gonna have somebody from Mount Juliet to come on to give us the explainer for all of that a little bit later on, maybe next week sometime. The nasty Democrats have revealed their true colors yet again. How many times do we have to see it? There's a story coming out of Virginia involving gubernatorial candidate. By the way, potentially my favorite word in the English language. I don't think I've ever said this on Nashville radio. Gubernatorial is the most fun word you'll ever say in your life. Just say it wherever you are.
Gubernatorial?
Just get it out. Get every little syllable out there.
Gubernatorial.
Gubernatorial.
Have you used it on All the Best Words?
I have not.
Oh,
I will. I mean, Marcia and John and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a party in my mouth and everyone's invited. Gubernatorial. The gubernatorial candidate. It's even better when you throw candidate in there on the end.
Oh, don't get pulled over by a cop when that's in your mouth.
Gubernatorial. Ha! So what was I saying? Oh, yeah. Gubernatorial candidate Winsome Sears, who happens to be an African-American female and a conservative Republican. Democrats have shown their true colors in that race with a nasty, nasty sign. And as far as I can tell, it's been now 20 hours and counting, and not a peep from her political candidate condemning the racially charged sign that was present at a Winsome Sears event. I believe that this guarantees Winsome Sears a victory. I think she was pretty much guaranteed anyway. We'll talk about that today as well. And then there's this, and Jay and I will discuss, and Jay's got info on this because I gave him the heads up. Did you see, for those of you excited about the beginning of the foosball season, did you see where Neyland Stadium over in Knoxville is going cashless? And I want to know how that's permissible.
You mean in terms of them being able to reject legal tender?
Mm-hmm. Now, I understand a private business can do that. A private business can set up their transaction process in any way they want because, as it says on your money, that the legal tender is good for all debts. Public and private. Debts is key. So before you incur a debt, I can tell you the payment options that I'm willing to receive. And if cash is not a part of that payment option, as long as I'm a private citizen, then, if I want you to pay me in chickens, I can get you to pay me in chickens. We can barter for whatever service or good I'm providing you. But this is a public accommodation, right? I mean, University of Tennessee is a public university. They accept public money. They accept taxpayer money. And so I think that would be different. But I'm not sure. Jay perhaps will help us out with that on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Kamala's coming to the Ryman. Y'all see that? Cackling Kamala right there on the stage. Right there in the famous circle. Yeah. You know, the Ryman Auditorium was never a church, although they had church services there. It was not built to be a church. It was built to be an auditorium. And I understand that its history led to its nickname, the Mother Church of country music. I feel like had it originated as a church, that it might burn down when Lion Kamala Harris walks on stage. You know, like a little lightning strike action or something like that. But she's coming to Nashville, and she's also going to Alabama, and they've sold out the Alabama Theater in Birmingham. I bet they'll sell out the Ryman Auditorium. You get a free book.
That's what I'm curious about is I want to hear what she has to say, because this is basically how I lost the presidential election tour.
Right. How I took, in 107 days, an opportunity to be the first female president of the United States of America and flushed it in the toilet by Kamala Harris.
And came out $20 million in debt.
It burned through like $1.5 billion and was in debt at the end. She had like over $1 billion. Over $1 billion. It's like Kamala's Millions. Y'all remember the movie Brewster's Millions? He had to spend $30 million in 30 days. That was back when $30 million
and
was
have
a lot of money.
nothing to show for it.
And have nothing to show for it. At the end, if you don't remember the premise of Brewster's Millions, Richard Pryor's character, Brewster, learns that his granddad was a gajillionaire and had no heirs. He was his only heir, and his granddad's dead now, but he's going to give him $300 million that's his inheritance. But he doesn't want him to blow it. He wants to teach him how to save his money. So he forces him to go through $30 million in 30 days without anything to show for it, to make him hate spending money. He compared it to having to smoke, I think, a box of cigars in a closet when his dad caught him smoking cigars. And so Brewster has to do that, but he can't tell anybody that he's doing it, and so everyone thinks he's crazy. I would not be surprised if Kamala Harris was not a part of that same experiment in 107 days. Where, hey, blow through over $1 billion in campaign money. I mean, just spend it hey, Beyonce, you want $8 million to come to my event? You don't even have to sing. Come on. Because singing would show some sort of work product. No. Just come on over. Oh, a podcast that no one's ever heard of? What was that podcast like? Daddy Meets Girl or something? It was weird. It's weird.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name.
I think I'm close.
Girl Meets Daddy, or
it's
something like that.
It's something icky. It's something like, I'm not going anywhere near that.
Yeah, it's like when you hear it, you're like, ooh.
I don't want to get a knock on my door on a Saturday morning like John Bolton. Hey, John Bolton got raided. That's good news, too. And the Department of Justice has released a transcript and audio of its interview with Ghislaine Maxwell and sends Epstein records to a House committee. I don't think you leftists are going to be happy about this at all. I'll share some of the excerpts coming up in just a moment. Call her daddy. Thank you very much. And yes, it is as creepy as I remembered it. It is 24 after the hour. You're listening to Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hello, friends. Matt Murphy for Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply. You know, we're in the thick of summer, a lot of grass cutting going on. You're probably in the midst of it. If you're a do-it-yourselfer and you want to know what to do to best prepare your lawn for the fall and even, yes, the winter, it's time to get to Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply. You're probably already going to Dickens for all of your landscaping needs. For your yard, for whatever you might need, for the weeds. August is a great time to get ready. It's really a great time to get ready for overseeding. Stop into any of their 7 Middle Tennessee locations. And when you talk to an expert at Dickens, you're talking to, an expert. You never know at some of these big box stores. Plus, you don't want to pay big box store prices, do you? They have an expert that knows what's right for your yard. If you're tired of pests, they can help you with that. They offer affordable, easy-to-apply solutions for weeds, all of your lawn care needs. They beat box store prices. If you are a seasoned pro or a new homeowner just getting into the yard, it's time to get to Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply. 7 convenient locations: Nashville, Bellevue, Murfreesboro, Brentwood, Mower, Hendersonville, Mount Juliet, and Franklin, or online at dickenssupply.com. Hello, friends. Matt Murphy for Grace Point Healthcare. It's affordable, convenient medicine at your direction. They are a direct pay primary care provider located right in Franklin, Tennessee. They are easy to access for anyone within the sound of my voice. And let me tell you something, friends. Even if it's a little bit of a further drive, it is worth that drive. Why? Because they eliminate the insurance company as an impediment to good health. That's the bottom line, folks. The doctors at Grace Point Healthcare understand that sometimes their treatments might go against what the insurance company wants them to do. And sadly, a lot of times the doctors feel beholden to insurance because insurance is involved in payment. At Grace Point Healthcare, they don't do it that way. As a direct pay provider, they charge you less, and you can file for reimbursement with your insurance company after the fact. That's what it's all about. Plus, with their Smart Care plan, you pay $69 a month. And you get unlimited office visits and free basic labs and diagnostics included in that price. Ask them about it when you make the call that so many others have made to Grace Point Healthcare, 599-6868. 599-6868. Schedule your next appointment with Grace Point Healthcare. Modern medicine delivered the old-fashioned way.
And the Justice Department has turned over thousands of Jeffrey Epstein documents to the House Oversight Committee. We'll let you know about that and other top stories coming up at 3:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
All right, I have to repair something really quickly, and because I misspoke, and I apologize. I don't like to misspeak. So I said that the Ryman Auditorium was never a church. It was never exclusively a church, and it's my apology. I overlooked a major part of this, right? That Tom Ryman was inspired by a guy. I've gone to the history of the Ryman at the Ryman, so I should know this. Tom Ryman was inspired by an evangelical preacher that came to Nashville, and he didn't like the fact that the evangelical preacher was preaching under a tent, and so he built the Union Gospel Tabernacle, for the purpose of giving him a place to preach. So in that, what I meant was, and I misspoke. It's on me. It's on me, everybody. My intention was to say that it was never built to be exclusively a church. In other words, it was never a method. You know what I'm saying? It was never built as, it was built for the purpose of holding gospel events and church-based revival events. But it also, throughout its lifetime, held other events. It was a community center of sorts. It held community events and lectures and fundraisers and meetings and musical performances from the beginning, 1892. So I apologize that I misspoke on that front. I'll try to do better next time. We sincerely apologize and regret the error. It's 30 minutes after the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
.30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. I can tell you right now, I-24 westbound is not getting better. It is still shut down because of that overturned vehicle right there near Hickory Hollow Parkway. Again, full traffic report coming up in 5 minutes. The Justice Department has turned over thousands of Jeffrey Epstein documents to the House Oversight Committee and also posted the full audio and transcript of Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche's interview last month with Ghislaine Maxwell. She's Jeffrey Epstein's former accomplice. He was convicted of sex trafficking. She was. ABC's Alex Mallon has more.
From sources familiar with the matter, we have confirmed that in that interview, Ghislaine Maxwell did not provide any information that would have implicated any potential top clients of Jeffrey Epstein or associates of any criminal conduct. Now, remember, the reason that Todd Blanche gave for arranging this meeting is because he said that the DOJ's internal files did not have any information in them that would lead the Justice Department to open any criminal investigations into somebody that has not yet been charged.
Epstein died by suicide while awaiting his sex trafficking trial. Multiple reports say Kilmar Garcia, a Salvadoran national living in Maryland when he was deported to his home country and later returned to the U.S. to face human smuggling charges in Tennessee, has been released from custody. He's reportedly on his way to Maryland to reunite with his family. This follows a previous ruling by a federal judge in Maryland ordering his return to the state and blocking his deportation upon release. His lawyers arranged for a private security firm to transport him to Maryland. And Metro Police still investigating the discovery of a headless, badly decomposed body behind a McDonald's along Dickerson Pike near the 65 interchange. That body found in the woods there behind the McDonald's. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. .24 westbound closed due to an overturned vehicle near Hickory Hollow Parkway. .24 eastbound, you got the right lane blocked near the Antioch Pike overpass by police activity. And now in Clarksville, .24 eastbound at Rossview Road, a crash. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy for Safe House. Nashville Safe House is as good as it gets when it comes to the safe industry, and they're better than anyone in the Southeast, and that means that I would put them against anyone in the United States of America. I want to tell you about some of the things they have going on that are limited in terms of their time, particularly some of the red hot rebates that end at the end of August. They have the largest selection of Browning, Liberty, and Fort Knox safes in the Southeast, and they have rebates on some of these safes that are ending at the end of August. So you need to take advantage of this. If you've been thinking about a bigger safe, if you've been thinking about a safe for your guns, or ladies, perhaps you need a safe for all of your jewelry, or perhaps it's just personal items that you want to protect from theft or from fire, they have the right safe for you because they have over 200 safes on display in stock. They have more safes in their showroom than most other companies have in stock, and they have double that amount in their warehouse. You follow? So that's almost 600 safes regularly in stock. They have one for you. Family owned and operated for over 33 years. I love Mark and his team and what they've done for our community. The Safe House is also the only safe specialty company with certified delivery crews in this market. Remember what Mark always says, don't let a crackhead deliver your safe. Give them a call or go by NashvilleSafehouse.com. That's NashvilleSafehouse.com, on the road, 4th Avenue South in Nashville. $6837 is very angry at me. Let me know when I can release these phone calls there, Bell. It is a First Amendment Freestyle Friday after all. I just want to make sure that you're all good in there with everything you've got going on. Don't, says 6837, say you misspoke. You were wrong. You're very confident in what you were saying. It was just wrong. I was not, well, I mean, if you want to say I was wrong, that's fine. We were talking about Ryman Auditorium. What I was originally to believe is that it was built like as a church. Like that's all it was and that's all it did. But that's never all it was and it was never all it did. I don't know why you're so mad. Don't be mad.
I've known you for a while now, and to my knowledge, I think the last time you were actually wrong was early 70s.
No. I was wrong. I was wrong at least once when you were on the show. But I blamed you. But I'm pretty sure I was wrong. But I blamed you. Hey, it was Bell's fault. Bell told me there was never a church. So it's Bell's fault. Now, I went to the, I've been to the Ryman on any number of occasions. I've done the Ryman tour a couple of times when I had folks in town. I've sat there, you go up in there and you go in the little room and they do the holograms and stuff. Pretty cool. I forget the woman's name that ran the show for so long. Some of y'all on the Super Text line can remind me of the name. I don't want to get it wrong. But she really made the Ryman what it was. Tom Ryman who was inspired to build the structure. He was inspired by he was like a godless man, and he was inspired to God by a tent revival, and that was kind of his inspiration to build the facility, but it was always used as a multi-use facility. That was my point. It wasn't exclusively a church, and I apologize. I sincerely apologize if I spoke incorrectly. But at the time, it was like the largest structure in Nashville, and it was used for a lot of different things. But then he died in the early 1900s, and what was her name? Now I'm going to have to look it up because I'm going to be bothered by it if I don't. It was, somebody will tell me. Somebody knows. It was a woman took over, and she ran the show until the 1950s and truly made it what it was and ran it with an iron fist. And she would crack the whip, and it was her way or the highway kind of thing. And she's the one that got the Grand Ole Opry or made the connection with the Grand Ole Opry, et cetera. Anyway, somebody out there knows, and somebody out there can tell me on the super text line, 615-737-9986. All right. Let's be real clear here. Waffle House is superior to Cracker Barrel in almost every single way, except for the possible recent development that Cracker Barrel now serves alcohol. Although I would point to Cracker Barrel's decision to sell alcohol as maybe a tipping point in their existence. Now, I don't care one way or the other, because if I'm looking to go to brunch and get liquored up on mimosas or Bloody Marys, I'm not going to Cracker Barrel. I'm not knocking Cracker Barrel and what they are. I've just never been that big of a fan because I'm a Waffle House guy. Now, I come at this honestly. I went to school at West Georgia College in Carrollton, Georgia, starting in 1991. And I accepted a job at the Waffle House in Carrollton in 1993. I worked there a couple of years while I was in college. I was a third shift guy. And then eventually I left college. I got a couple of other jobs. You know, I was a ne'er-do-well for a hot minute. And then I moved back to Athens, Georgia. I was thinking about continuing my education in graduate school, but I decided instead to become a manager of a Waffle House. I had nothing better to do, and I was convinced that in a short few years I could be even a district manager of a Waffle House or an area manager of a Waffle House. And that's like 9 Waffle Houses you're over. That's big money. But I've always been a Waffle House guy. Waffle House kind of turned my stomach when they started serving biscuits. Ugh, awful. Yeah. I don't understand. The Waffle House doesn't have ovens. How can you serve biscuits if you don't have ovens? Waffle House should serve 3 types of carbs besides hash browns. White bread, wheat bread, and raisin toast. That's it. That's your toast options. That's your bread options at Waffle House, or at least in Murphy world. But anyway, so I just want you to know that I'm a Waffle House guy when I come at this. However, I've been to one of these Cracker Barrels that have already we've been watching this happen for the last several years, right? Where the Mount Juliet Waffle House has already converted interior. I'm sorry, the Mount Juliet Cracker Barrel is already converted. I don't have. Yeah, you're right. That's so well said, Sally. I just glanced over to the super text line. Sally says, you know, Cracker Barrel may serve alcohol, but everybody knows Waffle House is BYOB. That's damn right. Look, Waffle House is America's place to eat breakfast, and Waffle House is America's place to go get in a fist fight at 2:30 in the morning, and I stand by that statement. My name's Matt Murphy, and I approve this statement. If you want to get into a drunken brawl at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, Waffle House is your place. And if you want a delicious, you know, triple over light plate, scatter smother covered chunk topped, you can get it at Waffle House too. Or you can eat those nasty grits. It's up to you. I think I told you one time when we were doing the show that I did the math. Now, this is 1995 math, so it's 30 years old now, and I'm sure the math has changed. But we would buy, you know, all of the Waffle Houses were responsible for their own income and their own outflow. So you were kind of self-sustaining in that regard, and you were expected to return to the parent company like 20%. That's after all of your costs. So you would have to, as a manager of Waffle House, go over food cost, operating cost, payroll cost, all of that. And from a food cost perspective, I knew what everything that came into my store cost me, whether it came from Waffle House corporate, which a lot of the food did, like the hash browns, for example, or whether you were sourcing it locally, like eggs would be sourced locally. Bread would be sourced relatively locally, except for the raisin bread. That's a different thing. So I did the math. And in 1995, one of the cheapest things that you could get at Waffle House was an order of eggs, toast, and grits. That item on the Waffle House menu at that time cost $2.35. 2 eggs, toast, and grits. And I asked you this one time, Bell. You know what the food cost of that order is to Waffle House?
I vaguely remember us discussing this, and I think my guess, because it's stuck in my head for some reason, I think my guess was 60 cents.
Your guess was 60 cents. I remember that. And I told you that it was 9 cents.
Which is a little surprising, but
cents.
That's a pretty good profit margin.
Well, the grits, I mean, the grits are nothing, right? I mean, the grits are like 60 cents a bag, and you can make 100 servings out of a bag or whatever. So the grits are absolutely nothing. It's all about the eggs and the toast. And the toast and the eggs are virtually nothing and I did that by subdividing. You get a gross of eggs, and then you kind of, you divide it down, and it costs you X amount. Bottom line is this, the cost of running a restaurant comes in payroll. And I mean, especially when you're looking at those lower tiered food items. So that's just an interesting fun fact about Waffle House. I don't even know why I'm talking about it. Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel, I don't pretend to know it as well as you guys do, because obviously you guys have been around, and Cracker Barrel started in Lebanon, Tennessee, as we well know. So this is kind of near and dear to our hearts. They now have almost 700 locations nationwide. I don't have a problem with the interior redesign. I know a lot of you do, but I don't. I understand. As a matter of fact, I get it, the interior redesign. The entire premise of Cracker Barrel is that we are talking about our roots, the roots of the South. It was presented as an old country store, right? So you walk in, and there's a general store atmosphere as you walk in, and then lo and behold, look here, you can go have some dinner beside the old fireplace. And you can look at the old lanterns and washboards on the wall. Washboards, as they call them. And, all the old-timey advertising and paraphernalia from the old country. It was nostalgic in the 1970s and 1980s to look back on the 1930s, right? But now in 2025, there's nobody alive that was around back then to be nostalgic for that era. So I understand from a presentational standpoint why you would take an opportunity at some point in your existence to modernize the building, to modernize the interior, to lighten it up. I don't have a problem with any of that. I have a significant problem with the logo change, because the logo change is indicative of attempting to run away from where you came from. If you want to modernize the nostalgia factor and bring it from the 1930s to the 1960s, I'm fine with that. And I think reasonable people would be fine with that. But eliminating Uncle Herschel, eliminating the Cracker Barrel, don't tell, they turned it on its side, Matt, the new logo. Shut up. I guarantee you, I was thinking about this, because the logo elimination is clearly a DEI moment. And I know Robbie Starbuck is exposing a couple of other things interior to the running of the modern Cracker Barrel that is going to cause a lot of problems. Cracker Barrel needs to take it. If anybody in Cracker Barrel management is listening to this radio show, y'all need to do this right now. Modernize the interior of your locations. That's fine. Brighten it up. Put 1960s stuff on the walls, eliminate the 1920s and 1930s stuff. I'm fine with all of that. Nobody knows what that hacksaw was for to begin with. Nobody knows what that washboard is for anyway. Eliminate all of that stuff and modernize it and be nostalgic about the 1960s. But you better damn well leave the logo alone. If you have an ounce of intelligence in your bodies, you will come out with a public statement today, not tomorrow, not next week, and you will say, we've heard our patrons, our customers, loud and clear. And we are not removing Uncle Herschel from the logo.
The new logo looks like it belongs to a motel or something.
I said this to someone earlier today. I was talking to a radio station in Chattanooga today, and I was like, if you didn't know what Cracker Barrel meant, like if you didn't know that was a restaurant, it could be a logo for a storage place or a barrel store.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't mean anything, right? So, yeah, no, you're exactly right. The motel's a good one. Come stay at the Cracker Barrel. I mean, it doesn't mean anything. Keep the logo, folks. If anyone in public relations is listening to what is happening, you're about to get Bud Lighted. I'm telling you, you're about to get burned in the fashion of Bud Light. And I don't know if you meant it that way or not, but if you have any sense as to who actually walks through your doors and eats that delicious hash brown casserole, you might want to rethink all of this.
When when the CEO was doing that interview that's kind of gone around now, she really sounded like she knew there was a problem with the logo and she was trying her best to pitch it, and she knew she had to sell it.
Yeah, that interview with Michael Strahan was just embarrassing all the way around because it was clear that, I mean, how many times before this lady became CEO of Cracker Barrel do you think she willingly walked into a Cracker Barrel to eat? I would bet you 0. I bet you before she was CEO of Cracker Barrel that she did not doing research and not thinking that she was going to get the job. I'm talking about 10 years before she was CEO of Cracker Barrel. I guarantee you this woman would never think to walk in to the doors of a Cracker Barrel because that was beneath her. That's the way she came off. And Michael Strahan looked like he wanted to be anywhere other than doing that interview. And that's the problem. I was watching, real quick, this reminds me of something I was watching on Tennessee Public Radio, Tennessee Public Television last night. Not radio, television last night. It was a special about Opryland. And they were re-airing this Opryland special. And I wanted to know, what Opryland was all about. And Opryland was a very special place between 1972 and 1997. And people to this moment are angry about its closure. Do y'all know why it closed? Because the CEO that was involved in the creation of Opryland, the CEO of what is now, I think, called Ryman Hospitality Group, which was previously called Gaylord Hospitality or whatever, he retired. And the new CEO, who was the chief financial officer, came in and had nothing to do with the creation of Opryland, had no sentimental attachment, had no idea what it meant to this or any other community, and just decided, we're not in the amusement park business anymore. We're in the hospitality business now. Now, there were some other factors involved. They were landlocked and they couldn't grow. One of the problems that I learned about Opryland last night was that because they were landlocked, they had the Cumberland River on one side, Briley Parkway on one side, and the Gaylord Hotel on the other. It was a triangle. And they couldn't grow, so anytime they wanted to add a new attraction, they had to tear one down, and that was a problem for Opryland. It was an overcomable problem, but one that they didn't want to deal with. And so they just dismissed the nostalgia effect. They dismissed how much it meant to the community because it didn't mean anything to them. This CEO of Cracker Barrel makes me think of the same thing, that she doesn't care about Cracker Barrel because she doesn't care about Cracker Barrel. And that's the problem with hiring these snotty New York CEOs. And I don't know where this woman's from. It's 53 after the hour on Super Talk. I love our listening audience. Somebody just wrote, was it the 1973 Christmas special? I was in that. It was not. It was a special looking back on the days of Opryland, like 10 years after it closed or 12 years after it closed. All that to say, I want to say this. The Tennessee Men's Clinic is here for you fellas when you need them. And I want to talk to you guys. And I know that this is a sensitive subject. I know that it is a tender subject, if you will. But gentlemen, if you have lost the verve, the vigor in the bedroom, it can impact your relationship. It can impact your mental health. It can impact your sense of identity. But there's good news. There's real help for you. Since 2014, Tennessee Men's Clinic has helped thousands of men get back to feeling like themselves, get back to life. First in Midtown, even before it was called Midtown, then in Cool Springs, and now in Clarksville, 3 separate locations right here in Middle Tennessee. So no matter where you are, north, south, or in between, expert care is close by. Do not believe in these cookie-cutter treatments that you find online. You need to get analyzed, and you need to get diagnosed from a urologist at Tennessee Men's Clinic. They're urology-based, and they are staffed with multiple licensed providers that can help you. Gentlemen, let's get back into the ball game. Don't wait another moment. Go to TennesseeMen'sClinic.com and schedule an appointment, or call 615-208-9090 for any questions. 208-9090, Tennessee Men's Clinic. Friends, if you're out and about over the weekend, why not stop by Savory Spice? They're located in Franklin, just off the town square. You know the square in Franklin. If you see the Gray's Pharmacy sign, Savory Spice is right next door to the right. You walk into the Savory Spice beautiful showcase showroom, and you'll smell the smells as you walk through the door. I mean, I'm talking about smells of cinnamon, or sometimes you'll catch a whiff of an Italian spice or a seasoning. Maybe you'll a flavor, an exotic flavor, curry perhaps, or even mustard. I mean, they have all of the spices right there out for you so that you can sample them, which is pretty cool. Then they can package you up a spice right there in front of you, and you can take it home, whether it's a pre-made seasoning or a delicious spice that you're looking for a specialty dish that you can't find anywhere else. They have it at Savory Spice. I love the fact that they're locally owned. and operated. Holly and David do a great job. They're great members of our community. They'll set you up with and listen, if you're looking to learn about the kitchen, go talk to Holly. I mean, she can set you up with the basics. She can get you ready to go in your new kitchen at Savory Spice. Plus, they've got great gift-giving ideas. Savory Spice, located in Franklin. Go by and see them and tell them Matt Murphy sent you to the one and only Savory Spice.
Four o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. And right now in Nashville, Metro Police investigating the discovery of a headless, badly decomposed body. Here's Channel 4's Dryden Quigley.
It was around 10:30 this morning that police say they got a call from a woman who was in the woods behind a McDonald's when she made a horrific discovery. When police got there, they found a severely decomposing body back in the woods. Then, about 100 feet away, they found a skull. They don't know the gender or age and haven't confirmed if the bones and skull are the same person. They also said there wasn't any evidence that anyone was living in these woods. For those who work nearby, like Tom Kesey, this news was disturbing.
When I was walking out of the building, I was getting ready to go to a meeting, and I saw the vehicles out here and was wondering what was going on. It's pretty gory. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't even know what to say.
Police are still trying to figure out how long this person has been here for and who they are.
That's Channel 4's Dryden Quigley. Reports say Kilmar Garcia has been released from federal custody here in Nashville, where he was awaiting trial on human smuggling charges stemming from a traffic stop in 2022 here in Tennessee. Reports say he's on his way back to Maryland, where he was living when he was deported to his home country, El Salvador. His lawyers reportedly arranging for a private security firm to transport him to Maryland. And the Justice Department has released the transcripts and recordings of 2 days' worth of Ghislaine Maxwell's conversations with the Deputy Attorney General. Those talks took place at the U.S. Attorney's Office in Tallahassee last month. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy reports.
The recordings have Ghislaine Maxwell insisting there was never a client list or a blackmail scheme or, as far as she knows, any abuse of teenage girls by any of Jeffrey Epstein's high-profile associates. In addition to releasing the recordings and the transcript of that 2-day interview, the Justice Department has also turned over thousands of pages to the House Oversight Committee in what's described as a first production. The panel says it intends to make those records public after ensuring the names of victims and any material that might depict child sex abuse are kept secret.
And U.S. stocks rising sharply today after Fed Chair Jerome Powell hinted about lowering interest rates. Details from ABC News business reporter Alexis Christoforous.
Powell left the door open for an interest rate cut. It would be the first of this year. And he admitted that the Fed is what he called in a challenging situation. He said that tariffs are driving up costs while the labor market appears to be softening. And he said the risks here have shifted. And that means that the Fed is now more focused on the probability that the unemployment rate will rise, layoffs will continue to rise, and what that might mean for the economy.
Now, that next meeting is September 16th and 17th, and that's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. 24 westbound is still shut down in Laverne for that overturned crash near Hickory Hollow. Then we've got 24 westbound at Old Hickory Boulevard North in Whites Creek. Police reporting a crash. And in Franklin, police say the left lane is blocked by a crash 65 southbound at Murfreesboro Road. Also, June Lake, the Highway Patrol says there's a crash 65 southbound at exit 55. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hello, 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 hello. Good to have you with us on this First Amendment Freestyle Friday. My name is Matt Murphy, and this is the Matt Murphy Radio Show. It is 8 minutes after 4 o'clock. Hope everybody's doing well. We're just hunky-dory at – I wonder where that comes from. My grandmother always said that. And it comes to my mind every now and again.
Sounds like it came from a nursery rhyme or something.
Where do you think hunky-dory came from? Hey, there's Bell, Headless Bell in the house. If you wonder why we call him Headless Bell, it's because he does not have a head. But somehow he manages to talk.
Don't be pointing out my deficiencies.
What's going on? How was your birthday yesterday?
It was okay. I had a good time.
Did you? Did you?
Did you get a big old piece of cake?
Did you get a big old piece of cake?
I got a cupcake with a candle on it.
Oh, well, isn't that sweet?
What do you know about that?
Isn't that sweet? Is it? You know, I haven't talked to you and said, hey, Ken.
Yes, sir.
Let's delve into Bell's private life because we know how much he loves that.
Yes.
Bell, I haven't talked to you in so long. Is there a Mrs. Bell?
No, but there's still a Spicy, the low emotional support cover.
By the way, I heard you mention Spicy a couple of days ago on the Chad Benson Show. For those that don't know, Bell's now producing Chad. We still love one another, and we hug every single day that he lets me. But he's producing the show today in the absence of Jackson, who left us for Titans football for some reason. Ken Weaver is back in the news closet.
Yes, sir.
He gathers headlines for a living, delivers them twice an hour or when it breaks. How's the world over there, Weaver?
The world is the world, brother Matt Murphy. The world is the world.
You know what? I like you because you're honest. And I feel the same way today. I mean, how many ways would you like for me to describe to you how my life is going? I mean, I don't have a truck.
Yeah.
And they won't tell me when I'm getting my truck back.
Yeah.
And I had to beg them just for that piece of information.
Yeah.
I don't have email right now.
Yeah.
And you know how hard it is to email IT to tell them you don't have email when you don't have email?
You can't.
You can't.
Yeah.
That's right. And that's just scratching the surface. But you know what I love? I love that all of these problems, all of these issues will be washed away when I hear the good old theme song that stands for Friday.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Americans. It's Friday.
I don't know. Maybe Ken Weaver rivals Jay St. Clair in his mood and attitude. Both of you make me feel better. Because no matter what life brings you, you show up with a positive, good spirit and a smile on your face. Hey, Jay, how's it going?
Hey, buddy. You know, if I were any better, man, I'd be one of your dogs.
Hey, boy, they got
Dang. Or maybe I'd be Bell. I can't believe Bell's back. Man.
Bell's back.
It's like getting the band back together. Hey, Bell.
Yeah. Hey, how are you? Look like you
If
need a
I were any
haircut, man.
better, I'd be you.
You need a haircut. You going in court with that hair?
You know, that's a really good question. I hadn't crossed that bridge yet, Bill. But I'm semi-retired now. I grew up in the 70s, so I'm trying to get back to my 70s roots.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, it makes
And
sense.
I love it. But I don't know if I had to try a jury case right now, it'd be a tough call. But you know, long hair is kind of back in fashion now.
Oh yeah.
So I think it'd be all right.
Oh yeah. I mean, your hair is getting to that Kiss photo that you showed me that time, where you were dressed up. I mean, I don't know Kiss well enough. Did you ever figure out who you were? Were you Ace Frehley?
Ace Frehley.
Ace Frehley. Yeah, I think you're approaching Ace Frehley length.
Well, it cost me a lot to get it this color. You would, I'd be embarrassed to tell you when I have to pay a month to keep it this color.
Let me see. Let me see how good I am at phraseology. Let me try to phrase this question in the spirit of what you just said. Jay, how long have you been coloring your hair that way? You see what I did there?
Well, my hair has been this color for about 25 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you get compliments on it. I've heard them.
Well.
I've heard them.
Well, I mean, the good book says that gray hair is a crown of glory. And so I'll just take it for that.
Well, that's good stuff. Jay, we got lots to get into. Already some folks are calling in with a few questions for Friday, which I absolutely love. 615-737-9986. I want to start with this one because, and I kind of previewed it during the 3 o'clock hour, because I'm very curious what you have sleuthed up on this. So Neyland Stadium, in advance of the brand new college football season, has announced that they are going to be cashless this year. And a lot of facilities are doing this,
right?
Where they don't want to deal with having to handle money. They don't want to. They claim that it takes more time, and I imagine that this is probably true. That it takes more time to do the whole change bit when they're dealing with money, and so they're just not dealing with that anymore. Most everybody's got a credit or a debit card now, and so you can do credit or debit cards. Right. And it just kind of scratched my head a little bit. I'm like, because some people say, well, you can't do that because money is legal tender, and money should be able to be used for, I think the phrase is all debts, public and private, and that ain't right. And I think I understand at least the aspect that private businesses can set up their own arrangements however they want to set them up. But without going any further down the road, tell me your initial thoughts, as you like to say, from 50,000 feet on this issue.
Yeah, well, you said it exactly right. I pulled out a bill. It's got a picture of Benjamin Franklin.
Oh, you can't hide it. Look, Jay, I know you can't see me. I don't think you see me. But the bill that I pulled out has a picture of Alexander Hamilton on it. So.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. And this is what it says, and this is just a synopsis of the law. This note is legal tender for all debts, public and private. The key word in that clause is debts. And in the federal law, which I happen to have right here in front of me, 31 United States Code 5103, says that the money, federal money, is legal tender for all debts, public charges, taxes, and dues. That means that the government must accept folding money or coins and private people have to accept it for repayment of debts, and also public charges, taxes, and dues. Nobody, unless a state has passed a law, no retailer must accept folding money or coins for a consumer transaction. The bill doesn't say that it's legal tender for Coca-Cola or hamburgers. It says for debts. And so federal law, they are clearly in compliance with federal law. And let me say this, UT, I'm graduated there. They wouldn't do this unless they were absolutely certain it's legal. So then the question becomes, well, what about states? Has Tennessee passed any law? And some states have. And I know somebody on the X machine said something about the Tennessee Deceptive Trade Practices Act. And so I went down that rabbit hole. Well, the legislature, the General Assembly, has been kicking around for a few years such a law. It goes back actually to 2022 was when it was first introduced, but it's never been passed. So what, and let me compliment you on this, and I'm really, really pleased that you know how to pronounce General Nealon's name. You did not call him General Nayland.
No.
You called him Nealon, and that's exactly right.
I think I got stopped with my U-Haul van at the border, and I was asked. That was one of the questions I was asked, Chad.
Yeah, well, that's how you get bedded in.
Mm-hmm.
And then you said anchors down.
No. Well, don't get me in trouble. So, believe it or not, we have more Vanderbilt fans than I thought there were listening to this.
Yeah,
radio
well,
show.
no, I get that.
So so this is just a matter of using a debit card does not mean necessarily, because I think people conflate two issues. I think they believe that this is pushing us toward a digital currency, which isn't really. That's not what that is. I think
I agree with that. Two different things.
Right. And I think people feel that way, but no, it's just your debit card is a representation of the money that you got in the bank. I mean, it is another form of payment. It's
like writing a check.
That's a great point. It's like writing a check.
Just like writing a check. Here's where I crossed that was during the pandemic when McDonald's didn't have any cash. I never paid a credit card at a fast food,
right?
Because I felt odd charging something for less than $10.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, well, I can't even afford breakfast. I got to charge it. But then the coins went away, and the restaurant started saying, "Hey, we would prefer for you to use a charge card." And so I started charging my $6.78 breakfast to my credit card. And now I love it because it is definitely quicker. I mean, the place I go to now, she just puts the machine out there, and what do you call it?
You just tap
it.
You just tap it. Mm-hmm.
And the transaction's done in like 10 seconds.
So just to put this one to bed, because several people have said it, and I think you answered it, but let's do it one more time. Okay. University of Tennessee is a public university, and that is the question that I asked you, I think, online, is like, well, is there a difference between a private? I get it. If you and I, Jay, wanted to open up, Matt and Jay's, sunglass hut, and we said, well, we'll sell sunglasses, but we only sell them for chickens. Bring chicken. I mean, I feel like you could do that, right?
or almonds.
Or almonds. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you can only buy stuff by almonds.
You can do that, but as a public institution that takes taxpayer dollars, is there any difference there?
No, absolutely not.
There you go.
The difference is it a debt or not? This is not paying a debt.
Mm-hmm.
This is buying something.
But if you owe people money, or if you owe people, I mean, I guess you would have to owe them money nowadays. It's weird to say you owe. You owe a debt. I mean, that's the way to say it. The way you're saying it, right?
That's right.
If you owe a debt, then no one can refuse.
Well, no, they can refuse. Here's the great part about it, man. Let's say that you owe your brother-in-law,
okay,
$100, and you go to give him $100 cash. He says, "No, I don't want cash. I want a credit card." No, I hereby tendering to you this $100 bill. I don't want that. I want it on credit card. Okay, have a good day. Your debt was just discharged.
Really?
You no longer owe him $100
because my $100 is legal tender for all debts.
You tendered it, and he didn't accept it. Well, you have fulfilled your obligation.
Now, what about this? Opens up a different can of worms. Now I know through my 20s, I was not as responsible as I am nowadays, and I'm not very responsible now. It just shows you where I was in my 20s. So. I would have the occasional collector call me to dun me, as my grandma used to say.
Right.
And they'd say, well, we need $500. And I was like, I don't have $500. I got $25. Nope, not $25. We need $500. We need you to pay this in full. Is it okay if they refuse partial payment?
Well, I mean, if you say to him, you're going to actually physically tender the money.
Sure.
If you were to roll up to that credit pay with a wheelbarrow, I love this. We see this every now and then. with 5,000 pennies in it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that makes what, $500 or $50.
Yeah.
And they say, no, we're not taking partial payment and we're not taking pennies. You have just discharged that portion of your debt. You no longer owe them that money because you tendered them U.S. coins and they declined.
Don't we see I've seen examples though, Jay, where so you're saying that if you're in a fracas with a business,
right,
and they say
and
you
pay
owe
it with pennies,
and you pay
and you don't pay it, well, your debt has been forgiven, in effect.
Right.
It's really been satisfied
because that's legal
you
tender.
Tendered the money. That's the tendering is offering it.
Uh-huh.
You tendered the money and they declined it. Well, then the debt's gone.
Matt asked Jay, what about businesses who only take small bills? Like we don't take bills larger than a $20 bill.
Yeah, that's their right. That's absolutely within their right. Or, there's a place here that won't take credit cards because of the 3% charge they have to pay. They only take cash or checks.
And 8817 says, well, the reason that they're doing this is because the credit card companies make a whole lot of money.
The
stadium gets a
stadium doesn't. I mean, the Neyland Stadium is having to pay that charge. They're the ones that physically writes the check. So I don't think they're doing it to profit the credit card companies.
8817 is in on this theory that he says the stadium gets a kickback based on transactions and volumes. It's a big money game. I do this for a living. My company gets a kickback from the processor. It's lucrative. Well, I'd say two things. One, I don't have to purchase the product. And number two, I bet you, because most stadiums that are doing this now have kiosks.
Right.
They have locations where if you only have cash, you can go and exchange that cash for an amount of money on a card.
Yeah, on a card.
Yeah.
Well, I got one word for you about kicking back money to Neyland Stadium and the University of Tennessee. That's part of the athletics department at UT.
Mm-hmm.
I got one word for you about that, man.
What's that?
NIL. And Nico Ali Mali Gali to California. I learned to pronounce his name, and I've intentionally forgotten how.
I'm so glad he's got. I can say that Aguilar fellow's name. I mean,
they got their hand out right now, and you got Texas out there and Alabama. Of course, they've been doing it for years, and so help them out a little bit.
Well, I understand that credit card companies and probably debit cards too, that there's a percentage charge on the company themselves, and the company probably passes that along to me. But I would say this. I'm willing to absorb that at the consumer level for the ease of the transaction.
Right.
I am.
Yeah.
I mean, and if somebody else is not, then I'm sure that there are some cash-based businesses that'll pop up. Jay's with us for the full hours, 24 after. We get your telephone calls coming up in a moment, plus your questions on the Super Text line. It's Friday on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy for U.S. Pest. Get rid of those bugs. Have you dealt with them all summer? My goodness. Have you not listened to what I've been telling you? Or perhaps you're dealing with a pest control company that simply isn't up to snuff. And there are a lot of those around, sadly. J.K. and Erica Brister have to overcome some of those lesser-than companies often. U.S. Pest can help you out. USPest.com, USPest.com. Call Erica, J.K., and the rest of the crew and let them come out and show you what you've been missing out on. If you've got another company, they're going to take over. They're going to make it better. They're going to make it right. A free inspection is offered to you. Now, if you don't have a company currently, they have a 100% money-back guarantee on full-service pest control. 100% money-back guarantee on termite protection, and a 100% money-back guarantee on crawl space service. Protection begins with U.S. Pest. Get rid of those little communist bugs. Two things I tell you about U.S. Pest. They love the United States of America, and they hate bugs. Call them today at 590-1260, 590-1260, or USPest.com. Hello, friends. Matt Murphy for the one and only Glock store. I've been telling you to get out to the Glock store for a variety of reasons, and specifically, I want you to talk to the Glock store about those incredible C-cuts. Those are called compensated cuts or compensator cuts. I didn't know anything about this, and I've owned a Glock 43 for a long time. I also have a Glock 20, which is the 10 mil caliber, and I have a Glock 17. And I did not know that C-cuts can make you more accurate. Let's talk about this for a moment, because these are slots cut into the barrel and slide that redirect the bullet blast into a V pattern. And they perform these C-cuts at the Glock store. And you don't find that many places, friends. The Glocks had them in the Gen 3 compensated Glocks. They haven't been available in the latest models until right now at the Glock store. They'll do it in 10 days or less for you. It's pretty incredible. It's going to make you a more accurate shooter, either on the range or just in your life. Buy a sample bullet pack for $6.99, and you can shoot your choice of a C-cut Glock 17, 19, or 43X. They make a huge difference in all of the models. The 43X, I'm told, with the C-cut is simply amazing. Got to go out there and shoot that for myself. The Glock store, minutes away from the airport, worth the drive from anywhere. The one and only Glock store online at glockstore.com. That's glockstore.com.
And we're monitoring reports of a tour bus crash with fatalities in New York. A headless, decomposing body found along Dickerson Pike this morning behind a McDonald's. Kilmar Garcia released from federal custody in Nashville. These stories and more coming up at 4:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
It is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Just a moment or two left in this segment. Another one to come afterwards. It is Friday on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Always enjoy talking to my best friend, my legal man, our legal correspondent, and my gambling buddy, Jay St. Clair. Let's go to the phones and speak with Chris, who has a question about cashless society. Chris, you're on with Jay St. Clair. Go right ahead, please.
Hey, good morning. I'm sorry, good afternoon.
Hey there.
I work in a college, and there's two things that I've noticed is going to this cashless society has further disrupted our education in adding and subtracting twice.
Uh-oh.
Number one, for $1 from something I bought, and then from $10 for something I bought. I had to tell them both times. The math scores are atrocious. They're just horrible, and this is adding to it. And if we teach our kids that, that's all they're going to know. Second, I have a grandson, and my granddaughter. They're both math wizards, but their parents paid due diligence, and they work with them. When my grandson was 7, he could take 1954 from 1923 and figure out how old I was. In his head.
Okay, that's funny, Chris.
That's good, Chris.
I was flabbergasted when he said, "So, Grandma, you're so-and-so years old." And I went, "Oh, my gosh." And he was sitting in the back seat of the car. I mean, this kid couldn't even hardly write his numbers yet. But he could see them because his parents practiced with him. His sister, who's 6 years older, also practiced. She's teaching him algebra. He's in 3rd grade. So,
well, Chris, I agree with everything you're saying. The next generation they don't know how to add and subtract, and I agree that this may be part of it. But the single biggest reason young people and a lot of adults can't add, subtract, multiply, and divide, single reason, calculators.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
they don't have to do it anymore.
Well, Ms. Boyd always told me that I better learn my math. Because it's not like I was going to be walking around with a computer in my pocket all the time, Jay.
Yeah, well, she didn't get that one right.
Yeah, she got that one wrong. It's 32 after the hour. It's time for the news. Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes, and we're monitoring reports of a tour bus crash with fatalities. This bus traveling back to New York City from Niagara Falls.
The bus was traveling eastbound right before the Pembroke exit, and for unknown reasons, the vehicle lost control, went into the median, overcorrected, and ended up in the ditch, which would be on the right side of the roadway or the south side of what you would be the 90.
Yeah, so again, this incident resulted in multiple deaths and injuries among the approximately 50 passengers, including children, and we understand that a child is among the dead. Here in Nashville, this man tells Channel 4 his reaction to seeing the crime scene tape where a headless, decomposing body was found along Dickerson Pike this morning behind a McDonald's.
When I was walking out of the building, I was getting ready to go to a meeting, and I saw the vehicles out here and was wondering what was going on. It's pretty gory. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't even know what to say.
Police working to identify the remains. Very little to go on right now. Kilmar Garcia update. He's been released from federal custody in Nashville, headed back to Maryland, where he was living when he was deported back to El Salvador before being returned to face human smuggling charges stemming from that 2022 traffic stop in Tennessee. His lawyers say they arranged for a private security company to take him back to Maryland. And Nashville's now dealing with its first human case of West Nile virus of the year. Channel 4's Lydia Fielder.
Metro Health says the infection is coming from the South Nashville area. Officials say they think this is in connection to the rise in West Nile virus activity in mosquitoes across Nashville. Neighbors are being asked now to take steps to help reduce the number of mosquitoes in their yards and homes. And you can do that by getting rid of any standing water outside, maybe little ponds in your yard. Also, limit your time outside at dusk and at nighttime when mosquitoes are most active. And then always, of course, use mosquito repellent with DEET.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, good news, drivers. They have reopened 24 westbound between Old Hickory Boulevard South and Bell Road, where that overturned vehicle was blocking all 4 lanes. Now, just the right lane is blocked. It is still stop-and-go traffic from the Rocky Ford overpass, and it's still busy 24 eastbound through that area. Clarksville got a crash 24 eastbound at Rossview Road, and then in Woodbine 440 eastbound past Nolensville Pike. 65 northbound at Vietnam Veterans Boulevard. And then in Williamson County, we got a crash 65 southbound near June Lake. Back up here, we've got Madison, a crash 65 southbound at Briley Parkway, Ellington Parkway. That's exit 90AB. And in Murfreesboro, a crash now reported by TDOT 24 westbound at Joby Jackson Parkway. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hey, folks, Matt Murphy for Shane Ring and Cover Nash. It's as simple as this. What you don't know could hurt you, especially when it comes to your health insurance. If you don't know whether you're getting the most for your money for your insurance, if you don't know that you're getting the coverage that you deserve, once it happens and once you realize this, oftentimes it's too late. Let's go ahead and make a call to Shane Ring and Cover Nash. He's not here to sell you anything. He wants to give you a comprehensive analysis and use his expertise in a concierge fashion to make sure that you're getting the most for your money and to provide you alternatives to what you're currently doing right now that could save you more money or get you better coverage in the long run. He's got a great nationwide PPO plan that gives you the freedom to choose your doctor anywhere in the United States of America, and it's only a $250 deductible. You heard me correctly. I was fascinated. I went to lunch with Shane some months ago. He told me about this plan. I was like, there's got to be something hidden. He goes, no, there's no hidden tricks. $250 deductible, flat copays after the deductible, a $1,000 copay for like a hospital stay, for example. It's real, and Shane Ring can tell you more about it when you call. Cover Nash, covernash.com, covernash.com, or 615-465-0023, 465-0023 for Cover Nash. You know, maybe it's me. People seem to want to pick a fight today for some reason. Not Jay. Maybe it's they want to pick a fight with me.
You started out the show with those lies about the rhyming.
Well, that's true. I got this guy demanding that I apologize to him for. I've not speculated one bit as to why Neyland Stadium is going cashless. So I don't know. I don't know what the burr in your saddle is, man. I appreciate the fact that you're in the credit card industry. I appreciate the fact that you know everything about credit card residuals. I also understand that there's nothing in this world that compels me to have a single credit card in my life. Not a single thing in this world. So I don't have to use a credit card. I get it. And if I've said anything incorrect, I would invite you. You seem very upset, and you're demanding apologies. So I mean, just. I don't know what truth and facts you're talking about. But anyway, on with the show with Jay St. Clair, who's got many, many questions on the line, and we'll get back to those questions to include Josh, who is in Hendersonville, with a thought about probate. Hey, Josh, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing well, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, my wife is the executor of an estate, and she's a procrastinator. So my concern is the friend died at the end of 2021, so it's been almost 4 years.
Right.
She's done most of the requirements and stuff, but taxes are the last two things for 2020 and 2021.
Right.
And she just keeps putting it off. And I'm just wondering how long she has, and could she face any trouble for not wrapping this up?
How many beneficiaries are there, Josh? Was there a will?
Yeah, there was a will. It was an older gentleman, a dear friend, and he had a couple of children. So they received everything. My wife was just the executor.
Yeah, okay. So, well, that's the people that are going to be upset. Nobody else is going to care about it. So so long as the children stay happy, then there really is no deadline to it, Josh. At some point, the judge is going to do something about it. He doesn't want it hanging around for 10 years. But so has the money been distributed?
Well, basically, there's not much. He had debt, and so she handled calling all the people that were wanting to get paid, and the law firm she's using handled all that. And there's just a little bit left. There's probably just enough to cover the taxes and then get our holder's fee or whatever that's called.
Okay. So the children really aren't going to get anything. It's just a matter of paying off the debts.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, she's not going to get in big trouble about it, Josh. She may get in little trouble about it. It's going to be from the creditors. So, yeah, she needs to wrap it up. But, I mean, she ain't going to go to prison if she doesn't.
Okay.
But she may have somebody barking at her.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
Josh.
Josh.
Yeah, tell her to get it done, Josh. Good Lord.
Yep. Appreciate the. Oh, golly, Josh, I thought we were done, and I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut folks off if you had something else to say. Caleb is up next in Mount Juliet for Friday. Hey, Caleb.
Hey, Matt. Hey, Jay. How are y'all?
Good.
Great.
Real quick, Matt, you know what they call a guy without a truck?
What do they call a guy without a truck?
Matt Murphy?
A liberal.
Them's fight words, Caleb.
Oh, man, I got two of them, but none of them run if you want to borrow one just to keep yourself out
I
of
just
it.
like to sit in one, just to remember.
Right, exactly. Okay, so my question for you, Jay, is our family farm was 500 acres in Shelbyville, and my grandfather passed about, I think it was 3 years ago now. He left my uncle and my dad both on the will. He didn't want his last wishes. It wasn't in the will, but his last wish was that the property stayed together and not be divided. But my dad didn't want to be on the same deed, so it went through probate after 2 years, got divided up. They each had their own. We thought everything was settled, and my uncle called me and told me that he just got served, that my dad is taking them back to court because he's found out that he cannot build anything on his portion of the property because he doesn't have enough road frontage. Therefore, it's an illegal lot. So,
right.
But he is under the impression that he can create or force my uncle to have to sell his portion of the land as well. Can you like explain that to me a little more? And does my uncle really have anything to worry about? I mean, they're going back before the same judge that did the probate, so I kind of feel like he maybe
it's going to be up. Sounds like you're on your uncle's side with this one instead of your dad, right?
Yes, yeah. It was my grandfather's wish, Yep. So, and there was a lot more that my uncle, his wife was dying of leukemia, and 10 days after my grandfather passed, they hit him with this, and then it was not at all what I expected my parents to handle anything. Yeah, but money makes people crazy.
Here's my view about this. A judge looked at all this, and he decided this is the way the property ought to be divided, and so he's made that decision. And the only person that can change that is that judge. They got to go back to that judge. I think your dad is going to have a really good reason for the judge to change his mind. It's going to be a really good. I like your uncle's position a lot better than your father's. But if he does have a really good reason, sounds like you got a fair judge in the case, then I think the solution he will come up with is something that your uncle can live with. Sounds like that it was split to them 50-50. Really, probably by dollar amount.
Essentially, yeah.
And there's a lot of different ways you can split up property. And if one of them at the time nobody was thinking about the fact that we need more street frontage in order to build, then the judge may go in and split it up a little bit differently. But there should still be, at the end of the day, each of their properties should be worth roughly the same amount, Caleb. So no, I would tell your uncle to worry more about getting hit by a meteor driving home tonight than about this situation.
Okay.
Or having to pay with a credit card at Neyland Stadium.
At Neyland Stadium.
That's fun. 47 after the hour. Friday's in progress. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Let's see who was next. Ralph's got a question about a property lien. Good. Hello, Ralph.
Hey, fellas.
Hey.
Hey, Ralph.
So about a month ago, I hired a company out of Murfreesboro to come put a fence on my property. They built one side of it, and it looks perfect. They built the other side, and it looks like they dropped it out of an airplane. Took some pictures of it, sent it to the project manager. She said, yeah, you're right. We need to get somebody out there and fix it. So I paid my deposit so they would come do the work. I have not paid the balance.
Right.
And now they're telling me, even though it's been almost 30 days and they haven't done the work to fix it, that if I don't pay the balance at 30 days, they'll put a lien on my property. What should I do?
Well, I wouldn't get ahead of them. Number one rule, Ralph, don't ever get ahead of contractors. And by that, you know what I mean by saying that. Don't ever have them owing you work for money you've already given. That's the number one mistake people can make with contractors. And so I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't pay them up front for work they hadn't done. And just tell them that, look, I'm sorry, that wasn't our deal. I don't know, unless you signed something where you said you'd do that. But I'd say, no, I'm going to pay for it as the work gets done. If they put a lien on your property, don't worry about it. Are you planning on selling it anytime soon?
No, sir.
Yeah, that's the only thing, lien. You just have to clear that lien before you sell the property. But here's what you can do. You tell them, Ralph, that, well, look, if you put a lien on my property, I'm going to put a lawsuit on you. You know what it takes to file a lawsuit, Ralph?
Ain't it like $300 in a crayon is what y'all say?
Oh, man, you made me so happy. And it turns out it's $140.
Oh, I'll do two of them then.
Yes, hit them with both barrels. So, no, you tell them, look, no, that wasn't our deal. I'm not going to pay you up front. I'll pay you as the work gets done. I'm an honest person, and I trust y'all to be an honest people, too. You can't put a lien on it for work you hadn't done. But if you want to put a lien on it, that's fine. I'll put a lawsuit on you, and we'll see who wins. And that'll back them off.
I
appreciate the advice.
Better yet, Ralph, tell them you'll put two lawsuits on them. How about that?
Tell them you got two barrels.
You fire both barrels.
Ralph, I am so glad you knew what it takes to file a lawsuit.
I love it. I love it. One of these days, Jay, me and you in a podcast. Going to call it $140 in a crayon.
Absolutely.
Let's get to as many as we can. That's a Cracker Barrel thought. We'll get to that in just a moment. Ooh, Jamie's got a traffic law. Wow, Jamie, got to come to you in Cookeville. Hey, Jamie.
Hey, Matt. I don't know if we should call it traffic law. I'll tell you what happened.
Okay.
I was driving on I-40 East, and a semi-truck hauling landscape rocks broke a strap, and the buckle hit the side of my car.
Damn it.
And it caused about $1,400 in damages. So I've got the incident on my dash cam.
Yep.
And we called the highway patrol and gave him the tag number, description of the truck, and we met the officer to make the report. And at the time, he said that the tag came back to someone in Petersburg, Tennessee, and to go to the highway patrol office on Monday to get the report so I could get everything taken care of. But when I went to get the incident report, everything about the truck driver was left blank. Now, I've been back up there 3 times to try to get them to correct this, and they won't do it. Where do I go from here?
Yeah, well, what are you looking to get them to pay you for the damage, Jamie? Is that what you want?
Yes, I want them to pay for that.
Right. Has your insurance paid for any of it?
No, I have an older car, so I don't have that kind of insurance, but it's a really nice car.
You just cover, you got liability. You don't have collision coverage, right? Wow. So you can't really figure out who owns the truck.
Right. I have their tag number.
Yeah,
I know exactly what the truck
it's
looks
not the
like.
driver. You really don't need the driver. You need the owner of the truck. Can you figure out who the owner is?
I'm not sure. I would have to see the name on the side of the truck. I'm going to have to pull it up on my dash cam, and what it takes to do that.
Yeah, I know. I get it. Yeah, but you got to figure out who owns the truck. And you ought to be able to do that with a license plate. Do you have a license plate?
Yes, I have the license plate number. Yes.
Yep. Well, and you've been to a local law enforcement agency, right?
Yes, 3 times.
Yeah. Well, so go to them and say, look, just tell me who owns this truck. Here's the license plate. Just please tell me who owns the truck, and I'll deal with it. It sounds like they've been pretty helpful. Which law enforcement agency are you working with?
Highway Patrol.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Now go to them and just hopefully go back to the very same person you talked to before, Jamie, if you can do that. And just say, look.
Okay, I've tried that. I have tried that. And I've asked for him to call me. He won't call me. He won't call me back. I don't know.
How far are you from a highway patrol office?
About 4 miles.
Go to the office.
Yeah.
You get so much more done face to face, Jamie. I'm
sorry, but I've been there 3 times face to face.
They won't tell you?
They give me a different excuse every time.
Well, you can hire. I know somebody that can find out who that truck's registered to. You can hire a private investigator to do that, and they'll find it.
It's going to be worth it. It would cost more to do all that.
Well, that's the problem, isn't it? That's the problem is you're fighting over $1,400, and you've already invested a lot of time in it. But Jamie, the only thing I can tell you is you need to find, if you want to get your $1,400, you got to know who owes it to you. Right now, you don't know who owes it to you. Well, I can tell you who owes you is the owner of the truck, and you got to find out who the owner of the truck is, and that may cost you more than $1,400.
That's what I'm worried about.
It pains myself to say this, Jamie, but sometimes that's just the way it goes.
That's the way. Well, and I'm sad to say this too, Jamie. The ball has bounced this way that we are simply out of time, and I'm sad that the ball has bounced that way for Jamie. But Jay, always a great hour. I love talking about Neyland Stadium with you, or Neyland.
And here's the way. Remember, the family, there's a big deal about all that. And the family said it's like your knee.
Neyland Stadium.
Think of it like the knee part of your leg, and then it's easy.
Neyland Stadium. Spoken by a man currently wearing a Georgia Bulldog shirt and who barks during Saturdays in the fall. Jay, love you. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon, brother.
See you, buddy. Love you, too.
55 after the hour. That's our wrapping up on Friday. We'll get to more of your telephone calls coming up. We got 2 more hours to go on Super Talk. Hello, friends. Matt Murphy for Premier Generac Generators. PremierGenerators.com is the website, and I'm going to give that to you again because I want you to go and see what they can do for you in terms of a home generator system for you in Middle Tennessee from Premier Generators. Generac is simply the #1 generator in the market, on the market today, and the #1 Generac dealer in Tennessee is Premier Generators. Can a generator power your entire house? Of course it can. What kind of fuel do they use? It is on natural gas or propane, clean burning, reliable, and already common in many homes, and you don't have to refill any of this by hand. How easy is it to install? It's more straightforward than most people think. They'll take care of everything: design, permitting, installation. You don't have to stress about any of those details. All you have to do is make one telephone call to Premier Generators. 855-POWER is on. Ask about this 10-year warranty that's going on right now. That is the best in the industry. 855-POWER is on. PWRISON. That's 855-797-4766 or PremierGenerators.com. Hey, friends, it's Matt Murphy for Tennessee Sleep Apnea and TMJ Solution Center. Let's talk for a moment about what Dr. Brian McLaughlin wants to do to help you sleep better tonight. Maybe not tonight, but maybe next week or next month or next year. If you're not sleeping through the night, if you're snoring in the night, it could be sleep apnea. Do you know? If you already know, there is an option for you, an FDA-approved oral appliance made by Dr. Brian McLaughlin and the Tennessee Sleep Apnea and TMJ Solution Center. It is in-network for most insurance in the state of Tennessee, and it works. Take it from me. I know because I am a client. I love my oral device. It goes in the mouth. It holds the jaw gently forward. Your airway stays open. You breathe throughout the night. You have more energy in the morning. It's a miracle worker. And I never could wear a CPAP machine. Never would consider it. But I can wear this, and it helps my mild to moderate sleep apnea. Go to TennesseeSleep.com. That's TennesseeSleep.com for more information for the Sleep Apnea and TMJ Solution Center.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. Law enforcement sources telling ABC News there are at least 4 fatalities from a tour bus crash in upstate New York.
It is a tour bus coming out of Niagara Falls back to what we believe New York City, and it had about 50-plus passengers on that, women, children, also.
That crash also involved a semi-truck, according to State Trooper James O'Callahan, who says it's not known yet why the bus crashed.
The bus was traveling eastbound right before the Pembroke exit, and for unknown reasons, the vehicle lost control, went into the median, overcorrected, and ended up in the ditch, which would be on the right side of the roadway or the south side of what you would be the 90.
Law enforcement sources telling ABC News there are at least 4 fatalities. Right now in Nashville, Metro Police investigating after a woman discovered a badly decomposed, headless body behind a McDonald's on Dickerson Pike today. A police spokesperson says homicide detectives, CSI, cold case are on the scene.
But given the heat and the woods and the nature of how this person was found, it's extremely difficult for officers to see and for our CSI team to photograph and capture.
Remains are said to be skeletal, a skull found about 100 feet away from the rest of the remains. Kilmar Garcia update. Stephen Portnoy says he's been released from jail in Tennessee, headed back to Maryland.
It's the first time since he was arrested and wrongly deported in March that Kilmar Garcia will have returned to Maryland, where he lived for more than a dozen years. A federal judge there has ordered ICE to not detain him. He faces federal human trafficking charges in Tennessee, where he was pulled over in 2022. But the judge presiding over that case has been asked to throw out the charges, with his attorneys arguing Abrego Garcia has been singled out by the government in a vindictive prosecution.
As lawyers arrange for a private security firm to transport him to Maryland. And that's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right. The good news on I-24 westbound in Laverne is that incident has been cleared, but it's still slow going to pick back up. It's got a crash now, 440 eastbound past Nolensville Pike. Also, another crash. Just picked this one up now in Laverne. It's eastbound 24 at Old Hickory Boulevard. And then west of Nashville over by Pegram, eastbound 40 being tied up by bridge repair between exits 192 and 196. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. You know, Bell, pursuant to the conversation we were just having off air, I could be the nincompoop. I mean, you could make me the nincompoop if you wanted to. I don't know that might.
First off, that's no fun. Secondly, I have no thought of you in that fashion.
I feel like it would be an auto win for you, though. I mean, Bell K, a.k.a. Headless Bell, is producing the show today. By the way, hello and welcome to the weekend for many of you. It's 5:08 and a good afternoon. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope well, I don't think the traffic's doing well. I think the traffic's doing pretty badly, as a matter of fact. If you listen to Ken Weaver over in the newsroom, he's also doubling up on traffic this afternoon, and it's just it's not good on either front, quite frankly. Ken is back in the newsroom / traffic center, and we appreciate all of the hard work he's doing over there.
Thank you, Brother Murphy.
Of course. Hey, Bell. Ken sounds great. Ken.
Yes, sir.
Everything okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I mean, I'm not 6 feet under. I know there's
You're
someone
not
I'd like to put 6 feet under.
I'd like to be 3 sheets under.
Yeah, well,
that's a
yeah.
I got one of those. Remember those 10 of whiskeys we got?
Yes, sir.
I still got 2 of those at the house.
I'm having a craving for Long Island iced tea for some reason.
Oh man, that does sound good. Last time I had I went on a Long Island iced tea bender. I was playing darts with my brother. We were playing darts and drinking Long Island iced teas, and I was convinced that if I just fed him enough Long Island iced teas, I could beat him. I was convinced.
How did that work out?
It never worked. It did not. It did not. At some point, neither of us could see the board, and we decided just to go ahead and Uber on home. Yeah, that's how that worked. Anyway, we'd love to hear from you, 615-737-9986. It's a busy afternoon. I like to remind folks who are off on the weekends to thank our weekend warriors, and I'm talking about all of them, from the police officers and the firefighters and the other first responders to the doctors and nurses that work in our hospitals, to the restaurateurs. I'm talking business owners, the folks that work at the convenience store or the restaurant, whether it be fast food or whatnot, or, people that take your money at the golf course. Whatever you're doing on the weekend, we thank you for doing it because it's part of what making our weekend so special.
Food
thank
trucks
you.
bringing me my burrito.
Food trucks bringing you the burrito, or the truck drivers that are driving over the course of the weekend. All of you working on the weekends, we say thank you to you weekend warriors for making our weekend special. 615-737-9986. 615-737-9986. As predicted by me. Who's got 2 thumbs and is constantly right? This guy. That's who. That's right, Murphy was right. They released the Epstein transcript. And already liberals are saying it's a fake. I told y'all. I told you this would happen. So the Department of Justice, in an attempt to be as transparent as humanly possible, has released a transcript and audio of the Ghislaine Maxwell prison interview. Ghislaine Maxwell was interviewed by an assistant attorney general, I guess, or a deputy attorney general. And during the course of that interview, she was asked about Donald Trump's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. She said that, to her knowledge, there was nothing untoward, and that while there was a friendly enough relationship, that she never saw anything of a sexual nature go on. Todd Blanche. Did you ever observe President Trump receive a massage? Ghislaine Maxwell, never. Todd Blanche, did you ever observe, you said that you were, have you ever seen, there's photographs, public photographs of Mr. Epstein and President Trump together. Ghislaine Maxwell, yes. I actually never saw the president in any type of massage setting. I never witnessed the president in any inappropriate setting in any way. The president was never inappropriate with anybody. And so, because the president has essentially been exonerated of any inappropriate behavior by Ghislaine Maxwell, and I'm not suggesting you should believe Ghislaine Maxwell, I'm suggesting that she is one of the very, very few people alive that have the goods, right? Jeffrey Epstein is dead, unless you are one of the conspiracy theorists that believe that he actually left that jail cell and is off somewhere on an island or whatnot. But for the most part, most of us believe that Jeffrey Epstein is dead. Most of us do not believe that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself willingly. Maybe he killed himself, and maybe that was against his better judgment, whatever. But Ghislaine Maxwell has now, that testimony, that interview, that transcript has been made public. It will never be enough. There are sides that want to damn Donald Trump with this information. There are sides that want to exonerate him. I don't know that we are not at a point where no one will ever be satisfied if it does not say what you already believed. This is where we're at. It's very similar to the JFK situation, okay? Human nature suggests that we have all come to our own individual conclusions about what happened on that fateful day, November 22nd, 1963. I'm a little impressed that I remembered the date. I have impressed myself, and I'm probably the only one. November 22nd, 1963, Dallas, Texas, Dealey Plaza. John F. Kennedy was killed. During my childhood, a minority of individuals believed that there was a grander conspiracy beyond a lone gunman. And there are many questions regarding the evidence, et cetera, et cetera. I understand fully why those questions have been asked. I understand fully why people believe that it was something other than a lone gunman. I did my own level of research back in my 20s. And as much as the next person, right? I read a few books. I read up on it, read a little bit of the Warren Commission report for what it's worth. And I ultimately came to my own conclusions about what I believe happened. But that is just that, my belief. I have no particular or special expertise or evidence that would lead me to know more than the next guy. There are some that have a particular level of expertise and have seen evidence that would know more than me or you, and they've offered their thoughts on it, but theirs are just theories too. But we have gotten to a point where so many of us are so cocksure of our conclusions that we are not going to be moved off of them. And if we are presented with evidence that is contrary to our conclusions, what do? What do we say? Well, that's fake. That's phony. Somebody made that up. That's not real. The thing that proves that what I believe is really the truth, they've covered that up. The thing that proves that my theory on the JFK assassination is the right theory, they've destroyed that evidence. Or they haven't released that evidence. Or this and this and this confirms that I'm right, and I dismiss this other batch of evidence that contradicts my belief as phony baloney nonsense, cocked up by the opposition to throw us off the case. You see how these things work? I think Epstein's gotten there. We are to the point where no matter what evidence is presented, those that believe a certain set of theories are going to believe that set of theories regardless of what we see. And a lot of this is on political lines. A lot of this is on political lines. I said Dealey Plaza. Why is Dakota saying that it's Daley Plaza?
Because Dakota wanted to be wrong.
Okay. I mean, Dakota, if you want to be wrong, all right. It is Dealy, Dealey Plaza. I've been there. Yeah, have you been there?
Yeah.
I figured you had. Yeah. You've been to Dallas a lot.
Yeah, I lived in Dallas.
Smaller joint than you would think.
Oh, yeah. The very first time I went through it, I was in a car, and the guy driving is like, "Here, this is where Kennedy got shot." And I'm literally looking around going, where? And I'm in the spot.
Right.
But it's
with
so,
the X? Yeah.
Yeah, it's so tiny, and you go through it so quick that unless you get out of the car to look around, you don't realize how tiny it is, really.
The big question is, and the only answer that for someone like me that believes that, I understand there was a lot of controversy around JFK. I understand there's a lot of people that wanted JFK dead, but I believe that Lee Harvey Oswald acted independent of those individuals. I think that he decided that it was up to him to kill JFK, and he decided that he had the opportunity to do it when JFK came to town, and it was a different time, y'all. They announced the route in the newspaper, and but I don't understand why he didn't kill him so he took, a right-hand turn and was heading toward the book depository before taking the left-hand turn.
Yeah, instead of shooting him toward his face, why did he shoot him in the back?
Yeah, well, the only explanation is that he wasn't ready. He hadn't gotten in position.
That, or
yet.
he was trying to get his nerve up to actually commit the act.
Maybe so, but one way or the other, if you want to disabuse yourself of the notion that he acted alone, or confirm that he acted alone, go to Dealey Plaza. Go to the 6th floor book depository. It's a great museum now, and I appreciate the fact that they leave the question open. They don't pretend to give you an answer on it. They recognize the conspiracy. They recognize the theories. I won't even call them conspiracies. They recognize the controversy. But they did do a cool thing where they left the sniper's nest as it was, as he had constructed it.
It's in plexiglass now?
Yeah, it's got a little plexiglass around it. But for the longest time, they had a webcam up that showed you the view
that Oswald would have had when he was firing?
The final fatal shot.
Yeah.
And I remember, I think I told the story to you before. We talked about this once before, where Erica and I were on the 6th floor, and there's a little bit of a line to go right into the position where you can't go to the actual window. You can go to the window next to the window, right? And this is like probably 10 or 15. Yeah, it's probably 15 years ago now. And there's a man and a woman in front of us, and the guy says, and this is like in the middle of July, and the guy says, "Well, there's no way he could have shot Kennedy from here. Look at all those trees."
30 years, 35 years later. Or actually, no, it's 50 years later.
It's like 40 years later at that point. And the woman said, "Those trees wouldn't have been there, you idiots, 40 years ago." And that's what she said. She's like, "The trees wouldn't have been there, idiot. It was 40 years ago. And it was winter."
So even if they were, they wouldn't have had leaves.
And the guy, there's a pause, and the guy went, "Oh, yeah." But then they left the little nest and the placement of the gun. The gun was in a different location near where the stairwell was. I understand. When I first formulated the belief that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone, I was in the majority. And now, 30 years later, I'm in the distinct minority. I haven't changed my position a bit, but universal position on this issue has shifted dramatically to conspiracy. There were multiple people involved in this situation. And you're right, Mario. That was one magic loogie.
That government is so terrible at everything that you cannot convince me it could keep this secret for 50 plus years.
Well, I'll use another example of a conspiracy theory that we talk about quite often. That's the moon landing. Somehow the moon landing has become a conspiracy. And I understand that Joe Rogan recently on the Joe Rogan Experience said that he did not believe that man has landed on the moon. And I did a survey on my X Machine page at Matt Murphy Show, and I asked the question, do you believe man has traveled to and landed on the moon? Yes or no? Simple as can be. Would you care to guess what the results were?
I would say you probably got 70% no.
No, I got 75% yes.
Yes,
we have.
Okay.
And 25% no. So a quarter of the people do not believe we have traveled to or landed on the moon, which is a little more than I would want to believe. But here's where I'm at on that. I believe it would be more difficult to coordinate this grand of a conspiracy and hold on to it for 50 plus years than it would be to go to the moon. I don't think there's any question that we have the technology to go to the moon today. Well, then why haven't we been back? Well, what's up there?
We're going to get some more rocks.
I mean, and I saw a clip of Rogan going, do you know what all the minerals are? What minerals are up there that are so special? I don't think there are any. Now, as a moon base to go elsewhere, yeah, I'd be interested in seeing that. Mario says those guys on the grassy knoll were killed immediately. Well, I mean, they would be. I mean, that's what you would do, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and
you want to keep a conspiracy quiet, you kill the conspirators.
Well, that's right. And I mean, Ruby was in on it, obviously, because Ruby killed Oswald. Yeah. I think Tibbet was supposed to kill Oswald. But
who was Tibbet again?
He's the guy that found him in the theater.
Okay.
The police officer that found him in the theater. I think he was supposed to kill him and failed. He died later. And then, of course, Jack Ruby died. He already had the cancer diagnosis. And he took all of those secrets with him, friends. He did. Let's talk to David in Nashville. David, you've been holding far too long. Actually, David, you got to hold up a minute or two longer. Your patience will be rewarded. But I'm looking at the old clock on the wall, and it indicates I need to do this right now. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy for Defend Systems. Active shooter and physical security consultation is available to you at Defend Systems. Folks, the bottom line is this. We live in a dangerous world. It is a dangerous place that we live in, and life safety and security consultation is more important than ever, especially if you're a decision maker at a place of business, at a church, at a corporation, at a school, at a law firm, at a manufacturing company. If you make the decisions about safety and security at your place of business, call Brink Fiddler and Defend Systems. Get him in on this because they are the best when it comes to training your people as to what to do in the case of a workplace situation, like workplace violence, active shooter, emergency and intruder action plans, rapid response medical training, all customized to your desires and your facility. That's what it's all about. Reach out today at 615-236-6484, 236-6484. I would encourage you to do so. Brink Fiddler and his team are great at what they do, and they understand that the possibility of you going through this is very small, but hope it's not a plan. It's not zero. It's time to get trained with Defend Systems.
Looks like at least 4 dead in that New York City tour bus crash. That story and more coming up at 5:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Thank you, Ken Weaver. I'm now officially a part of the JFK conspiracy because I screwed up and I got something wrong. Tibbet was the guy that he was the cop that Oswald shot. And then he eventually ran into the movie theater and was found in the movie theater. But Tibbet was shot by Oswald.
Tibbet was the one that was in the patrol car.
Right.
And
right.
Okay.
Right.
That makes that
and y'all are too good for me. Hey, go ahead and play the music. Play the Murphy Was Right music. Just go ahead. People are begging for it. So. Murphy was wrong. Murphy was wrong. Doesn't happen very often. There you go. I was wrong. I apologize. Tibbet was shot in the street, saw Oswald. But doesn't change my theory that Tibbet was in on it and was supposed to be the cop to kill Oswald, and Oswald got the drop on him because he realized he was going to be the patsy, which is why Oswald said, "I'm a patsy," when he was in the thing, and then Ruby had to come clean up Tibbet's mess. Huh?
God, these guys were incompetent.
I'm surprised that it's lasted as long as it has. LBJ couldn't keep a secret if his life depended on it, and he gets to keep this one? Sheesh. I have a lot of the conspiracy theories out and about now. I didn't know. Think about this, Belle. A listener on the super text line just alerted me to this one, talking about the moon landing, quote unquote. Who was the first person supposedly on the moon?
Neil Armstrong.
That's Neil A, right? What's Neil A backwards?
Alien?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Now you're getting it. Now your eyes are wide open. Now you're starting to understand it.
But what would Buzz A would be a Zub? Is that the alien's name?
One of my favorites that goes around is that Buzz, like that. Is Buzz Aldrin dead yet?
No, he's still
he's like in his 90s, right?
Yeah, he's going to be close to it.
But and it won't die that Buzz Aldrin admitted that it never happened. He has said it many times. No, he actually slugged a guy. He slugged a dude
in a hotel concourse.
Hey, like 88-year-old Buzz Aldrin goes, "We've never been in the moon." Pop. How
Right
about
in the
my
face.
How about my fist has been on your eyeball? All right, David, you're next. Thank you for your patience. I'm sorry that you've held so long, and I owe you something. I don't know what to give you. Maybe a bottle of water and an ink pen used by me.
Good afternoon, sir.
David, I am shocked that I have done you this disgrace to make you hold for so long. I apologize.
No problem.
What's on your mind?
I just got a couple quick things to say about this CEO of Cracker Barrel. I was researching her on the computer. She has a Bachelor of Arts in Communication. What that has to do with running a restaurant, I don't know. They say that her compensation, her salary, combined with her bonuses, like company stock and all that, she makes roughly $7 million per year. But I can see her background. She was at Taco Bell, Mattel. I don't know what toy manufacturing has to do with restaurants. She also was a senior executive or whatever at Starbucks for quite a while. So that shows a lot of her politics. And they claim, I don't remember if I didn't pay attention, because I would go there fairly regularly, that certain Starbucks during Pride Month, instead of the regular brown rocking chairs up front, they had colored chairs for the rainbow flag.
Yeah,
So
I've not seen that. I saw where Robbie Starbuck, our good friend, had come out with an informational packet on Cracker Barrel's opportunity to create quote-unquote LGBT safe spaces, calling themselves a safe zone community. So I've seen a little bit about that.
Yeah, but this is her background alone, especially being involved with Starbucks. We know overall, basically, where her politics land, what she believes in. So I don't trust anything to do with Starbucks.
No, and I don't. I don't know what the leadership is doing over there, and I hate it because I hate it for Cracker Barrel. I want to like Cracker Barrel. I mean, I've said I'm on record as saying Waffle House is superior to Cracker Barrel in every way. Perhaps we'll get back into that conversation. Maybe Cracker Barrel will make the cut and become a nincompoop in the news. You never know. We'll never find out until we get to the real news, and I'm late for it. It is 5:30 or just after on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. And law enforcement sources telling ABC News a tour bus crash has killed 4 people in upstate New York.
And at this time, we have multiple fatalities, multiple entrapments, and multiple injuries.
It also involved a semi-truck. State Trooper James O'Callahan says it's not known why yet the bus crashed.
The bus was traveling eastbound right before the Pembroke exit. And for unknown reasons, the vehicle lost control, went into the median, overcorrected, and ended up in the ditch, which would be on the right side of the roadway or the south side of what you would be the 90.
Tour bus coming out of Niagara Falls back to New York City. It had about 50-plus passengers, including children. Multiple reports say Kilmar Garcia, a Salvadoran national who was living in Maryland when he was deported to his home country, El Salvador, and later returned to the U.S. to face human smuggling charges in Tennessee, has been released from federal custody and is reportedly on his way back to Maryland. This follows a previous ruling by a federal judge in Maryland ordering his return to the state and blocking his deportation upon release. His lawyers reportedly arranged for a private security firm to transport him to Maryland. And Metro Police investigating the discovery of a headless, badly decomposed body in Nashville. Here's Channel 4's Dryden Quigley.
It was around 10:30 this morning that police say they got a call from a woman who was in the woods behind a McDonald's when she made a horrific discovery. When police got there, they found a severely decomposing body back in the woods. Then, about 100 feet away, they found a skull. They don't know the gender or age and haven't confirmed if the bones and skull are the same person. They also said there wasn't any evidence that anyone was living in these woods. For those who work nearby, like Tom Kesey, this news was disturbing.
When I was walking out of the building, I was getting ready to go to a meeting, and I saw the vehicles out here and was wondering what was going on. It's pretty gory. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't even know what to say.
Police are still trying to figure out how long this person has been here for and who they are.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. By the airport, police report a crash 40 eastbound just past Donaldson Pike. In Lebanon, a stalled vehicle on the right shoulder, 40 eastbound before South Hartman Drive. Then in Laverne, a crash 24 eastbound at Old Hickory Boulevard. Kingston Springs in Cheatham County got a crash reported by TDOT 40 eastbound at the Cheatham-Davidson County line. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hello, friends. There's a lot of things Americans are split on, almost 50-50 in some cases. Politics, working from home versus working from the office, coffee or tea. I don't think that's a split, but whatever. There's one thing we all agree on. Taking your car in for repairs is or can be complicated. Hey, it's Matt Murphy, and if your repair is going on or if you're thinking about getting a repair done, it's only as good as the person under the hood. Most of the problems in fixing your vehicle is a knowledge issue, not somebody trying to rip you off. A lot of techs are just not properly trained, so they end up guessing at what to do, which causes delays in getting your vehicle back. You're telling me. Repeated visits for the same issue. For around a quarter of a century, Eurofix has done things very differently. Every visit starts with a free 15-minute no-wrench inspection, so you know exactly what's going on before they start the work. At Eurofix, they pay their technicians more than any other company. They attract the best and the brightest talent. That's important. Eurofix still fixes European vehicles at below dealer pricing with a 3-year, 36,000-mile nationwide warranty on all work Eurofix performs. Rental cars are also available. Locally owned, family-run, 5 locations. Book or call today. MyEurofix.com. That's MyEurofix.com. Hello, friends. Matt Murphy for Genesis Diamonds. What about something sparkly? You know, I was thinking about getting something sparkly, and I was thinking about going to the Genesis Diamonds folks to get it because that's the home run place to do it, right? I mean, because I don't know anything about this, and I bet you guys don't know anything about it either. I mean, I don't know my way around a diamond showroom, but I know this. At Genesis Diamonds, they don't work on commission, which is nice. That means they don't try to upsell you on anything. They're not incentivized to do that. What they are incentivized to do is make you feel at ease. They'll give you a beverage, a nice little glass of something. Let's calm the nerves. We know you're nervous because maybe you're about to pop the big question or it's a big anniversary or a big birthday coming up, and that's why you're at Genesis Diamonds. They want to calm you down, and they want to help you understand the diamond buying process. They'll feed you baby birds, as I like to say, and they'll walk you through the showroom. They'll find the right something for you, the right something for your budget, whether it's a necklace or a bracelet or something to put on that ring finger. It's time to get to Genesis Diamonds. Men, do this the right way. Genesis Diamonds, no compromises. You can have all you want for less money at Genesis Diamonds. Green Hills and Cool Springs. Tell them Matt Murphy sent you. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Get your big jug of water there.
Hey, bud.
Uh-huh. The Benedict Arnold stopped by. Did you see that?
Yeah, he's over there running Titans radio,
That's
having himself a good old time.
Having a grand old time with Titans football over on the other station. Just left us high and dry. But thank goodness Headless Bell is here.
Yes, sir.
I
To the
stepped
rescue.
up.
You did.
Yes, sir.
All right, friend. By the way, speaking of stepping up, have you selected something for this segment?
Well, I know the segment, but I'm not entirely familiar with the details of it.
Uh-huh.
So I've got something, but I don't know. I mean, it could have been used before, or it might be inappropriate.
We are going to offer you full forgiveness if the story was used before. I feel
Yes,
like
sir.
you deserve that.
Okay.
Yeah, let's give Brother Bilal a chance.
We're going to give you a shot at this. This is the way we work this thing. For Bell and everyone else new to the listening audience, let's talk about it. At this time every day, Ken Weaver in News Closet B. Hello, Mr. Weaver.
Hello.
Whomever's behind the glass. In this case, it's Headless Bell. Hello, Bell.
Hello.
And yours truly, Matt Murphy. We have scoured the intraweb. We've looked all over this state, all over this United States of America, these United States of America, all over the globe. And we have found nincompoopery. We present stories, and you get to vote. We call it Nincompoops in the News!
Nincompoops in the News!
On Super Talk 99.7 WTN. And I believe that I won yesterday. That's what Jackson told me before we left. And so, that means that my nincompooperi goes first. Winner goes first, Bill.
Okay.
Even though you're kind of a special case. But one way or the other. Here we go. And if I'm stealing your story, I'm sorry. Does your story have anything to do with the International House of Pancakes?
No.
Okay, very good. Then I'm not stealing your story. Ken Weaver, does your story have anything to do with the International House of Pancakes?
No, sir.
Mm-hmm. Then I'm not stealing your story. You know what you know where the one-legged waitresses work?
Where?
IHOP.
So sorry.
That's terrible.
That's bad. An IHOP waitress has been accused of sexually harassing a female customer and rubbing the 51-year-old woman's back, arm, and breasts after sitting next to her in a restaurant booth. According to a police report, the police who arrested that worker for battery allege that Allie Mae Wright, a 26-year-old server at a Florida IHOP, was waiting on a patron when she began to, quote, call the victim a sexy bleep. I cannot say what the bleep is. I guess you can use your own imagination. It's a 4-letter word.
Is that a bad one?
Yeah, it's a really bad one.
Okay.
Like the only group of people that I have found that are able to get away with
British.
The British.
The British.
You know exactly what word I'm talking about. Gave her a milkshake. She called her a sexy bleep and gave her a milkshake that the patron had not ordered. Wright, cops charge, then returned to the table and continued to call her the word. Wright then sat next to the victim and, quote, now this is the waitress, so you would think that the waitress is not on some form of illicit drugs, but Wright then sat next to the victim and began to rub the victim on the back, the arm, and the outside of her breast area, and was seen resting her shoulder on the victim's, resting her head, that is, on the victim's shoulder. The victim says in the affidavit that she did not know the defendant, did not give her permission to touch her, and was asking her repeatedly to stop touching her. This incident happened not in the middle of the night, but at 8 o'clock at night, and was recorded by IHOP security cameras. Wright was arrested for battery and booked into the county jail on a misdemeanor charge. She was released on a $250 bond after spending a night in custody, and a judge has ordered the St. Petersburg resident to have no contact with the victim. The arrest affidavit indicates that the police officers at the scene detected an indication of significant alcohol influence with regard to the waitress.
How much is significant?
Not sure, Ken, but
probably at least a pint.
Is that a couple of beers?
I mean, that's right. Officer, I just had a couple of beers before I came into work. It is my favorite part of this story is the last line of the story. It is, as of this printing, unclear what her current employment status is at the International House of Pancakes. So here's how bad is it that you have to get tied up? You have to tie one on before you go to work at the IHOP.
Pretty bad.
That's pretty bad. The IHOP is no Waffle House, I'll tell you that. But they're probably beating the Cracker Barrel in terms of their stock price today. Y'all seen that?
Yes.
Gee, bad. All right, there's my nincompoop. Belle, you want to go next?
Sure.
All right.
She almost froze her butt off, quite literally. Brazilian influencer Ravina, I think it's Hanley, reported to the emergency room after developing frostbite on her bum during a frigid photo shoot in Spain. She was quoted as saying, "My butt was completely numb and I couldn't even sit." She told Jam Press about her brush with hypothermia. She's an ex-Playboy model who infamously dropped thousands to restore her virginity, if you can understand what I'm trying to explain there. So she became a virgin again. She frequently shares photos of herself posing in exotic locales for her over 267,000 followers on Instagram. She saw an opportunity to create yet another Cincinnati shoot while vacationing with friends and ended up in the emergency room with hypothermia on her butt.
Can I pull back the curtain for just a second?
Okay.
I got interrupted while you were doing your story.
Oh, the $50.
$50?
Yeah.
No, I got interrupted. All I know is I got interrupted, and I heard about a woman freezing her butt off, And then I wasn't listening for 20 seconds. And when I came back, you were talking about a woman restoring her virginity.
Yeah. That's one of the things that she's famous for. But she was doing a photo shoot in a bikini in Spain in the cold, in the snow.
Oh, okay.
And she got so cold that she got frostbite on her hiney and had to go to the emergency room.
On her hindquarters.
But Mason was offered $50 to do that.
He was offering $50
to interrupt you. Yeah.
Oh. Well, did he win?
Yeah. Chris has to pay him $50 now.
For interrupting me during Nincompoop?
Yeah.
Oh.
What? I mean, he asked me if we should.
What in the hell is going on, Ken?
He asked me if he should do it, and I'm like, it's $50, man. Do it.
So wait a minute, Chris Hand. No. See, this is dangerous. We're entering dangerous territory now. So Chris Hand of the Chris Hand Show offered his producer Mason Fleming $50 to just bust it up on the show
during the Nincompoops.
For no reason.
Correct.
Huh? And now I don't fault Mason, but what the hell? Now see, Hand, I've got to. You see what's going to happen?
Now you got to retaliate.
Now I've got to escalate.
Yeah.
I've got to retaliate. It's got to be escalatory. And then and this is not going to end well. It's going to end with the studio on fire while Chris Hand is doing his job.
And one of you in HR.
And one of us in human resources. That's right. Ken?
Nude man arrested in Nashville Park. Police said the man was also intoxicated. Weird. And he kept providing them with the wrong information. On Monday, just after 7 o'clock, police were informed of a fully nude man yelling near Morgan Park. When officers arrived, they found 36-year-old Jimmy L. Linson at the intersection of 5th Avenue North and Hume Street. Police said they noticed Linson's eyes were extremely dilated, and he appeared to be speaking with someone who was not there. Linson provided multiple fake names, including one that turned out to be a real person in Nashville, the affidavit states, but he was unable to give a full Social Security number. The officers attempted to locate Linson's friends after he said one of them was staying at the Millennium Maxwell house and the other one was standing right behind him. But remember, he was talking to people who weren't there. After speaking with hotel staff, however, no guest was found using the name Linson provided. The officers arrested Linson and charged him with public indecency, public intoxication, and criminal impersonation. That's a nincompoop right there,
That's
boys.
a very good nick. Hey, sir, we're going to need your name.
That's my buddy behind me.
What name did they give him?
He just said bunch of fake names.
Whip him, Jackson. Whip him, Jackson. Get on his butt, Jackson. Protect your host.
Hey, Murphy, I was told to tell you that your Mount Rushmore take is trash.
Okay. My Mount Rushmore take is trash. My Mount Rushmore's trash. So, Ken.
Yes, sir.
They asked him his Social Security number, and he said it was 14.
Yeah, he gave a name that was actually a real person in Nashville. Then they said, what's your Social Security number? And,
God, he must be old if it's only 14.
I know, right?
Yeah.
What's your Social Security number? 14 and a half.
And he was naked.
And he's in Nashville.
And he may have been intoxicated.
You think?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
His eyes were dilated.
I wish I was intoxicated.
Yeah, I could use a... Yeah.
I could use a pump or two.
Long Island iced tea.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Yeah.
How many times, if we say it 3 times, will a leprechaun magically show up with a bucket of Long Island iced tea?
Yeah, he'll jump straight out of my beard.
Oh, man. Long Island iced tea, Long Island iced tea, Long Island iced tea. Let's go. Let's make it happen.
I didn't know Ken's beard provided favors like that.
Man.
Here he comes. Me Lucky Charms. Ho!
He's out of his mind.
Ken Weaver's leprechaun screams "Hall." That's pretty good.
It's a country leprechaun.
There's a play the little sounder again. We're supposed to play the sounder again
sir.
as we go out on Nincompoops in the News. That's Nincompoops in the News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. We'll get to Larry momentarily. We'll get to all of you momentarily. You can call in. I will get to my take. By the way, I've got to tell you I can tell you my truck story now because I've learned that the reason that I went to the dealership that I went to no longer owns the dealership that I went to.
Oh, so I was right.
You were right.
Okay.
And the dealership that I went to is sucking hard.
At providing you good customer service.
At providing me any customer service. And I'm going to tell you the story, and I might lead you to a direction where you can figure out who the dealership is. On Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, friends, it's Matt Murphy. Let's spend a moment talking about your computing systems. Do you own a business? If your business is not the computer business, let me tell you something. Well, even if it is, frankly, Alpha and Omega, they are as great as they come with regard to your computer technology in your business. Now, if you do have a small business and you think that you are protected from cyber threat or cyber hacking because your business is so small, think again. Did you know that 14 successful ransomware attacks happen every single day? Alpha and Omega, they know this, and they know how to avoid being one of the 14. If you're renewing your annual IT contract, do not settle for the same old, same old. Alpha and Omega delivers fewer problems, faster response time, and service that actually works. They invite you to call them today for a free quote. Friends, business owners, you need to do this. Call Alpha and Omega. You get a real person on the phone every single time. You never get AI. You never get somebody from some other country. They work on your computers 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, meaning they protect you for that length of time. Emergency services are available and rarely needed because Alpha and Omega works. Go to ANO.net. That's ANO.net or 615-784-0096. 784-0096. It's Alpha and Omega Computer Consultation.
So am I. Metro Police investigating the discovery of a headless, badly decomposed body. That's coming up at 6 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I don't know what has happened to the radio show. I don't. I promise you there are suggestions that were already drank. No, bring it over here. No, bring that in here. I want to show everyone what you have.
What, is it some whiskey?
No, it's not whiskey. Come here.
It's not sealed.
Can you see this?
What in the world is that?
It's a giant bag of popcorn
That
from
is-
Regal Theaters.
This is the largest bag of popcorn I've ever seen in my life.
Is there a prize in it?
Well,
Movie tickets?
The prize is the popcorn, Ken.
Maybe there's movie tickets in the bottom.
So, for those that don't know, we lost to Jackson today to the Tennessee Titans. Speaking of losing, the Tennessee Titans will probably be 5-12 this year. We lost Jackson to the Tennessee Titans.
Dude, they're going to the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. And he's like showing off his big-ass bag of... You got like 30 seconds. Hit it and go. No. Now, hit it and go.
Zach Lyons orders this popcorn every week. I received the delivery.
Uh-huh.
And, yeah, we're going to enjoy it throughout the game tonight.
That's the largest bag of popcorn I've ever seen. Congratulations.
How much time we got?
10 seconds.
All right, it's time for the news. Let's get to Ken Weaver on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
6 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. Metro Police investigating the discovery of a headless, badly decomposed body today. Here's Channel 4's Dryden Quigley.
It was around 10:30 this morning that police say they got a call from a woman who was in the woods behind a McDonald's when she made a horrific discovery. When police got there, they found a severely decomposing body back in the woods. Then, about 100 feet away, they found a skull. They don't know the gender or age and haven't confirmed if the bones and skull are the same person. They also said there wasn't any evidence that anyone was living in these woods. For those who work nearby, like Tom Kesey, this news was disturbing.
When I was walking out of the building, I was getting ready to go to a meeting, and I saw the vehicles out here and was wondering what was going on. It's pretty gory. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't even know what to say.
Police are still trying to figure out how long this person has been here for and who they are.
That is Channel 4's Dryden Quigley. Reports say Kilmar Garcia has been released from federal custody in Nashville and was on his way back to Maryland, where he was living when he was deported to his home country in El Salvador, then later returned to the U.S. to face human smuggling charges stemming from that 2022 traffic stop here in Tennessee. His lawyers reportedly arranged for a private security firm to transport him to Maryland. And the Justice Department has released the transcripts and recordings of 2 days' worth of Ghislaine Maxwell's conversations with the Deputy Attorney General. Those talks took place at the U.S. Attorney's Office in Tallahassee last month. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
The recordings have Ghislaine Maxwell insisting there was never a client list or a blackmail scheme or, as far as she knows, any abuse of teenage girls by any of Jeffrey Epstein's high-profile associates. In addition to releasing the recordings and the transcript of that 2-day interview, the Justice Department has also turned over thousands of pages to the House Oversight Committee in what's described as a first production. The panel says it intends to make those records public after ensuring the names of victims and any material that might depict child sex abuse are kept secret.
And stocks rose sharply today after Fed Chair Jerome Powell hinted about lowering interest rates. Details from ABC News business reporter Alexis Christoforous.
Powell left the door open for an interest rate cut. It would be the first of this year. And he admitted that the Fed is what he called in a challenging situation. He said that tariffs are driving up costs while the labor market appears to be softening. And he said the risks here have shifted. And that means that the Fed is now more focused on the probability that the unemployment rate will rise, layoffs will continue to rise, and what that might mean for the economy.
Yeah, they'll said that September meeting is set for the 16th and 17th. And that's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Lebanon, police reporting a crash 40 eastbound at I-840. Also a stalled vehicle in Lebanon, right shoulder block 40 eastbound before South Hartman Drive. In Antioch, Murfreesboro Pike at Pinhook Road got a crash. And then in Clarksville, Highway Patrol reporting a crash 24 eastbound past Wilma Rudolph Boulevard. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Yes, indeed. The hamsters keep spinning those wheels, and we keep rolling on to 7 o'clock. I appreciate you being with us. Thank you so much for your time and consideration. It is 6 minutes after 6 o'clock. We've got another hour to go. And at 7 o'clock, we're going to call it a weekend and hand off to Mark Levin, although I don't think Mark was there yesterday. Whomever might be there for Mark, the great one, we'll hand it off to that person. 615-737-9986. 615-737-9986. As I was presenting that big old bag of popcorn on the television side of things moments ago, Mario writes in and says, at movie prices, that's about $200 worth of popcorn. It looked like it. Man, it was a big bag of popcorn. And no, I did not have any. So I've got a story that is out about the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway that I want to share with you. If this story is correct, this is good news. This is potentially really great news for the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. We continue to share with you some of the conspiratorial theories about cashless Neyland Stadium. That's right, Neyland Stadium announcing that it's following stadiums like, is Bridgestone cashless? I want to say they are. I know that Nissan Stadium's cashless. I want to say the Nashville Sounds are cashless. Most of these arena-style event spaces have become cashless. And as noted by a listener to the radio show, I don't know exactly what arrangements are being made. I was simply trying to say that I have no idea if Neyland Stadium's making money on this or not. I mean, I know they're making money on concessions. I know they're making money on product. Whether they're directly making money going cashless, I don't know. But one of our loyal listeners who says that he's in that business says that most certainly the credit cards are paying off Neyland Stadium. Maybe to go all cashless? I don't know. I don't know. My name's Bennett and I ain't in it. I know that I pay with debit and credit card quite a bit, so I rarely carry cash around nowadays. So for me, it's no skin off my nose. But for some, it's a very frustrating aspect to modern society that so many large venues like Neyland Stadium and other event spaces have gone cashless. Speaking of event spaces, Kamala Harris go into the Ryman Auditorium. I would almost go to this event just to people watch. I mean, I feel like there's some tears that are going to be going on.
I want to see what. It stuns me that she's doing a I Lost tour.
Well, I think she's doing an I Lost tour because they got a lot of books.
Yeah, but
and the books aren't selling at all, and they've got to figure out a way to get those books off their hands. So they feel like if they convince people to pay, how much you think tickets are to the Ryman for this? I want to find out. I don't know.
I'm going to guess 65.
65.
That includes the book.
A quote unquote free book for the purchase of every ticket, right? Quote unquote. Right.
Ken, you back there?
I'm here.
Ken.
Yes, sir.
Kamala Harris is coming to the Ryman Auditorium.
I know.
He's thrilled. You can tell.
How about, I don't know the answer to this question.
Yes, sir.
But I'm throwing it out there. How much you think tickets are for that thing?
For Kamala Harris at the Ryman Auditorium.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking right now.
I'm going to say at least $500.
What?
Yeah, I'm starting to think I lowballed it a little bit.
Man, what?
Well, I mean, she's apparently raising money.
Yeah, I mean, she's giving away her book.
I mean, they're not going to let the hardworking people that Democrats claim to, represent go to this.
Okay, so I got – she's doing a big old thing, man. She's going to be at the Tabernacle in Atlanta. That's a great venue, by the way.
Yeah.
You ever been to the Tabernacle?
Absolutely.
Great venue.
Well, it won't be anymore.
I can't. Oh, there it is, Ryman. Okay, November 18th at the Ryman Auditorium. Kamala Harris. All right, I'm looking. I want 2 tickets. Limited inventory. Let's view the tickets. We're checking availability. Oh, I'm so excited. We get a book. It's called 107. Your seats aren't guaranteed. Let's view them. Let's looky.
What site are you on?
I went to the Ryman Auditorium, but it took me to Go Tickets.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh. Oh, boy. Oh, Ken's a hell of a lot more right than we are, Bill.
Yeah. I'm on a site called ticket-center.com, and it's even higher than Ken guessed.
I told you it was for the working man and woman.
I'm looking at $371 each. Clear view, you will be seated together.
Who in the world?
That's in the balcony, too, boys.
Who's going to pay that to go see her?
I got what do you got?
A pair of tickets on the floor, row R, for $1,000 each.
Liberals that want to cry about it.
I'm telling you,
honestly, liberals that want to cry about it. That's who's paying for that.
This is a powwow for them. They're going to get together and they're going
together.
Wish each other the best and hug each other while they cry.
They stole it. They stole it from us. It was ours. They lied. They cheated. They stole, that kind of thing.
I think I was talking this earlier this week. I can't imagine what her laugh is going to sound like at the Ryman.
Well, I'm sure Johnny Cash will probably turn over in his grave.
Look,
see that, man? I'm telling you that.
I just don't look. I don't know.
I wouldn't pay to see any politician, but I definitely can't see somebody paying to see her.
No. On some planet, I can understand why you would want to see. I don't even know about Barack Obama.
No.
But she's just vapid. There's no there.
That's
there.
what I'm saying.
Listen
man.
to it. It's all word salad crap.
Right.
I don't understand. For maybe it's comedy gold, and we just don't. Maybe if you and I had us some delicious hot chicken, a couple of cold beers,
yes, sir,
and maybe a gummy or two right before we went in.
Yeah, at least 2.
I think it might turn into comedy gold. I think if you looked at it from the right lens,
they'd toss us out.
It might be the best comedy going.
It might be, man.
Like some of those performance art, like Andy Kaufman used to do.
Yes.
Like, for those that aren't familiar with Andy Kaufman, man, what a weird guy he was. I think this is a confirmed fact that he went on stage at I want to say it was at the University of Washington. It was at some campus where he went on stage and read the entire Great Gatsby.
What is this?
Andy Kaufman.
Oh, well, that sounds about Andy.
Right. So, and if it was something that you got what he was trying to do, it turned, because his entire shtick was, how much is the audience willing to take before they'll walk away?
How far can I push before they give up?
Before they walk away and give up. And apparently, reportedly, there's 15 people in the audience. He got done 3 hours later. But, they all thought it was a bit and that he would break. And he goes, I'm out here to read the incredible novel by F. Scott Fitzgerald, The Great Gatsby. And he starts reading. And people are just laughing. They're like, oh, this is funny. All right. But then the laughter started dying off. And then, minutes became 10 minutes. And 10 minutes became 20 minutes. And 20 minutes became a half an hour. And people are mad. Pissed, screaming and yelling at him.
Did any of the advanced literature, like the posters or anything, say that's what he was going to do?
Do not know. I would highly doubt it.
Because it's
highly doubt.
Andy wouldn't want to. No. Andy wants the reaction. He doesn't want to give it up and dance.
His whole shtick was to make you uncomfortable and to see how you would react.
like wrestling female wrestlers.
Or what was his name? Slapping Jerry Lawler.
Yeah.
On
or
Letterman.
Jerry slapping him, actually.
Yeah, that's right. That's the reverse. Jerry slapping him on David Letterman. And David Letterman to this day says that was not something that they pre-planned. That was that. Well, David didn't know about it. Apparently, Jerry and Andy worked it out, but David
wasn't told. Yeah,
he wasn't told about it. But yeah, I mean, that's the whole shtick. So if you go into it looking at it like that, probably the best comedy going. But my goodness gracious, I hope the Ryman Auditorium is charging her a mint to rent that facility.
Man,
just
and using unreleased prisoners to clean it up afterwards.
Dallas says y'all need to get those media credentials and get in. Oh, Ken Weaver, we need to rely on the newsroom credentials.
Yes, sir.
Get us in there in the back area and ask a few questions of old Kamala.
Yes, sir. We might have to try to do that.
Mm-hmm.
She still has Secret Service because she was vice president, right?
Wait a minute. What day is it?
It's November 18th.
What day is that?
Let's see. I am looking right now, November 18th. September 1st is my birthday, everybody.
Happy birthday, Brother Murphy.
Thank you. I will not be here. It is
Where are you going?
Well, it's Labor Day.
Oh, that's right.
And my mother was a very logical person. She went in labor on Labor Day.
Labor Day, yeah.
The 18th is on a Tuesday.
A Tuesday?
Well, dadgum, we're going to be at work.
Yeah, dude,
That's too bad.
Yeah, it's too bad for her because I think she could really learn something from us.
I think we might learn a few things from her. Like what an idiot looks like. Anyway, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Your thoughts, your calls, 17 minutes after the hour. Let's get to Larry in Clarksville. What is going on, Larry?
Hey, man, that's kind of hard to follow. Thanks for taking my call.
Of course.
I don't want to make light of the situation. I'm just glad that the headless person that was found was not Bill Kay.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
yes, sir.
What did he say?
He said he's
Larry, don't make me laugh.
Brother Larry showing you some love there, Brother Belay.
Larry, Ken, what's the news story? They found a decapitated body.
Yes, they found a badly decomposed headless body behind the McDonald's up there by Dickerson Pike and 65.
And God rest their heavenly soul.
Yes,
but the bastard's trying to steal my thunder.
But Larry said that he was glad it wasn't you.
Oh, thank you, Larry.
That's
I
what he
appreciate
said.
All right, so I called in to suggest a nincompoop, but then you guys already did it.
Ow!
My suggestion was Dan Mandis.
Why Dan Mandis?
That's kind of mean.
Dan Mandis is on a flight right now. You know where Dan is going, Larry?
Probably on a Disney cruise.
No, it's even better than a Disney cruise, brother. Dan Mandis will be attending a concert this weekend. I'm a little jealous. Have you not heard this?
No.
Weaver has, based on his reaction.
Yes, sir.
So Dan,
I was listening this morning.
Look, I was too. I'm jealous because I want to go see the Sphere in Las Vegas.
Right, yeah.
And I want to see a concert in the Sphere. I hear it's incredible. But there are limits to what I am willing to put up with. So Dan is going to be at the Sphere this weekend with the beautiful Amy, attending a Backstreet Boys concert.
Oh, God.
This.
Are they the ones that sing Baby Bye Bye Goodbye or something?
I want it that way. This reeks of Amy telling him what they're doing.
Yeah, but the reason that I was wanting to suggest Mandis as being the nincompoop was that he has worked with Joan for what, 2 years, 2.5 years?
About a year.
And he has worked with Sam for a while. Sam's name is 3 letters. And he can't get it right.
What's he call him, Larry?
He calls Joan the wrong name every day.
Right. I think he calls her Jones.
He called her Jones. He called her Jane.
Yeah.
Jenny?
He's called her everything but her real name.
I heard hand this morning, and it's true because I witnessed the same thing because I was in the room. I forget what we were doing. I think maybe we were saying bye to Brian or something. But there was a lot of us in the room together, and Dan had written down each of our names. So it said Chris Hand, Matt Murphy, Brian Wilson. I think he actually wrote down Dan Mandis, too.
Well, you don't want to forget your own name when you're on the air.
Look, I'm not telling the man anything. He's great at what he does. He's got a lot of listeners on Nashville's Morning News. He does.
I know. I love Dan.
Oh, yeah.
But
there are not two more. Go ahead.
If you can't remember Sam or Jones, who you worked with for 2 years,
I told Dan today.
Brother, you may need, he may need some medical help.
Maybe. Well, I don't know about. I think all of us need a little bit of medical help.
Yeah, I need some right now.
Yeah, some medication, most certainly. Larry, have a great weekend. Thank you for the telephone
Larry.
call. What did the Backstreet Boys do?
Well, one of their bigger hits was "I Want It That Way."
I want it that way.
But this to me,
Tell me why.
This to me reeks of him making Amy happy.
Yeah, so I had a conversation with Dan earlier to show you how different. I mean, there are not two more different talk show hosts in America than Dan Mandis and Matt Murphy. Dan prepares probably for 4 hours to do his 4 hour show.
Oh, and that's not an exaggeration.
No, it's not. Matt Murphy prepares about 4 minutes to do his 4 hour show. And I'm not saying one way's better or worse because I'm one of the people involved. But Dan, I love being out and about. I love doing remotes. Dan does not care for doing remotes. And we were talking about a remote that Dan's actually doing next week. And I was telling him that I was going to be a part. I was coming out to see him just to support him.
All right.
He's going to be out and about next week. I don't want to get in front of this in case it's not been announced yet.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But there's an event that's happening next Thursday that Mandis is going to be a part of. He's doing his show live from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. on location, which is very rare for Nashville's Morning News.
Wow, 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. The only time we ever do that's the Nashville Rescue Mission.
Well, that's true, but this is a pretty big deal, and Mandis has been invited. It's my understanding that a current and potentially future governor will be in attendance.
Well, who in the world could that be?
So that's coming up. Teases aplenty. I can't tell you any further details.
It's going to be one of those city councilors from Memphis.
But I'll tell you, I love it. Dan, not so much. So I told him I'd come out and support. But as we were having this discussion, I said, I'm sorry, are you already on your flight? I hear that you're going to a Backstreet Boys concert. And his response was, all I will say is, my God, I love that woman. That's what he said.
Yeah, I was right then.
You were exactly right.
Yeah, all he's doing is making her happy.
He is making Mama happy. If Mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. It's 24 after the hour on Super Talk.
At least 4 people killed, others trapped. We'll tell you about a tour bus crash coming up at 6:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Matt Murphy Show continues. We need to have Dan on to do a report on the tunnel in Las Vegas. I think Dan should. You know what? That's a great idea. Bell, text Dan and tell him he needs to ride in the tunnel and take a video of himself riding in the tunnel so we know what's coming to Nashville, Tennessee. I would do it, but, I'm busy.
And then we can post it to the socials?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that would I'd get some he's doing those little shorts. Those are going like gangbusters. I would think that he would want to do something like this. I mean, I think that's a great idea. That is from listener, I lost it, 9520. Appreciate you.
Is he in the air right now?
I don't know.
I'll text him anyway.
Short answer. Yeah, I mean, why not? Lance is in the borough. We'll get to you in a moment, Lance. Danny wants to talk about Kamala Harris. Hey, Danny. Danny. Dano. The Dan Man. The Danster. Danorama. Goodbye, Dan. Lance. Dan's loss is your gain. How are you?
Oh, not bad. I apologize ahead of time because I'm not calling to end your day with humor. I came across a story, Sun Valley Orchard versus the Department of Labor. I don't know if you've heard about it or talked about it, but the Department of Labor over the court, starting in 2015, essentially shut down a 125-year family, 4-generation family farm for a clerical error, and the Third Circuit Court of Appeals overturned it. The part that's concerning is the Department of Labor has their own investigators, their own attorneys, their own judges, and their own appellate court. And all of them found these people guilty, and the Third Circuit said, you can't do that. I didn't know if you knew about it. I want to look into it to see, but I think that's the kind of corruption that we don't see that really sours people on federal government's abuse of power.
So, wait, so you're saying there was a case involving Sun Valley Orchards. I just want to make sure.
New Jersey, yeah.
I just want to make sure. And they had a dispute with whom?
The Department of Labor.
And what was the dispute regarding?
They had 17 seasonal workers who decided they didn't want to cut asparagus because it was too hard. So Sun Valley documented everything and let them go back home. And the DOL came in and said, because they checked a certain box on a form, that they owed like $500,000 in back wages and punitive damages to these 17 workers, of whom the DOL could only allegedly find 3 to do remote testifying that was not cross-examined. Okay. They could not prove anything.
And you're saying that, and they went through their own courts, the Office of Administrative Law Judges?
Yes.
Okay, let me. I'll give some details on that in just a moment. Lance, I got to scoot. I'm sorry I do, but I've got to get to the news. I'm very late. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Coming back right after this.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. At least 4 people reportedly killed. Others are trapped. Some of them were thrown out of the tour bus traveling back to New York City from Niagara Falls.
The bus was traveling eastbound right before the Pembroke exit, and for unknown reasons, the vehicle lost control, went into the median, overcorrected, and ended up in the ditch, which would be on the right side of the roadway or the south side of what you would be the 90.
Here in Nashville, this man tells Channel 4 his reaction to seeing the crime scene tape where a headless, decomposing body was found along Dickerson Pike this morning.
When I was walking out of the building, I was getting ready to go to a meeting, and I saw the vehicles out here and was wondering what was going on. It's pretty gory. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, I was behind a McDonald's there near the 65 interchange. Money News, Michelle Franzen.
Wall Street closing out its best day in months after Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell hinted at the possibility of a change to interest rates before an annual gathering in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. The Dow soared 846 points, the Nasdaq gained 396, and the S&P grew 96. In the same speech, Powell said the job market looks okay at the moment, calling it a curious kind of balance between fewer new workers and fewer new jobs. Stocks of smaller companies also led the way on Wall Street. The smaller stocks in the Russell 2000 index surged 3.7% toward its best day since April. NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang says the company is discussing a potential new computer chip designed for China with the Trump administration. He said he was also speaking with Beijing to reassure Chinese authorities that the chips do not pose a backdoor security risk. China's Pop Mart says it's rolling out a mini version of its Labubu toys this month, along with a new long fur version.
That's the latest news, traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Got a crash by the...
Hey, friends, it's Matt Murphy for Stoltz Co. Are you thinking about an event space? Are you thinking about a barn? Are you thinking about a space to go and get away from the family, like a garage space, a man cave, or a she shed? I want you to think about Stoltz Co. Or maybe you've got family that you love to entertain when they come into town, but you just don't have the space. What about a beautiful barn dominium on your property from Stoltz Co? They can do it all, folks. If you own land, if you're looking to do something with that property, put money into real assets by building on your land with Stoltz Co. Maybe you just own property and you're looking for that dream home that you've always thought about, and you've thought that a barn dominium might be the way to go. I encourage you to do this. Go to stoltzco.com and see the different properties that they have. It's incredible. Barn dominiums are beautiful structures, and they are unique in as much as they're very open concept, open floor plan, and they cost less money than a traditional build. Ask them about it when you contact the team at Stoltz Co. 615-622-5992, 622-5992, or visit them online at stoltzco.com, stoltzco.com. Tell them Matt Murphy sent you to the one and only, the very best, Stoltz Co. Hello, friends. Matt Murphy for Efficient Heating and Cooling. It's hard to find someone that you can trust when it comes to large home repairs like your AC, particularly when there's an industry that is predisposed to just telling you to replace it. Well, they don't do that at Efficient Heating and Cooling. Jeff Eddy understands the expense of putting in a new AC unit, which is why that Jeff Eddy has trained his crews. I mean, they're all certified. They're all trained. They're very good technicians at what they do, and they are trained to try to fix what ails your system. And only as a last resort do they tell you that, you know what, we don't believe that you've got much life left in this unit. They'll tell you that with regret, but they will tell you that when the time comes, and they're an Elite Pro partner with Rheem, and they can help you solve those issues by finding a new unit for you. But the better path is to fix the unit and get maximum life out of it. That's what they do. They keep their invoices low by never charging you overtime on the evenings or the weekends as they work. They just don't believe in it. Jeff Eddy wants you to know that you're getting maximum value for your dollar. Jeff Eddy's Efficient Heating and Cooling of Tennessee. Best value around. I approve Jeff Eddy and Efficient Heating and Cooling, and I want you to give him a call when you need. Write this number down, 615-784-4424, 784-4424, or efficienthvac.net. All righty. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I have like 14 stories to get to. Watching as this story unfolds with John Bolton. Look, here's the deal. Liberals want you to believe that this is all retribution. If John Bolton had classified materials on his property, if he had materials that he ought not have, you've got to go get them. And John Bolton knows better. And by the way, John Bolton is not the president of the United States of America, so John Bolton doesn't have the authority to declassify anything as a president of the United States of America would. So we're watching that story carefully. And I, unlike some, am not going to speculate as to what's going on or what is going to happen with that story. I want to find out more. To my knowledge, John Bolton has yet to be charged with anything. Donald Trump, for his part, said he didn't know anything about the FBI search of his home. Secondarily, Kash Patel and the FBI announcing that in addition to doing that, the Department of Justice has released documents relating to the interview that Ghislaine Maxwell gave to the DOJ. The assistant district, Todd Blanche, I guess his name is, one of the assistant attorney generals, gave the interview or conducted the interview, and now that transcript has been released, and liberals are already screaming and yelling that it's not real, which you might expect that they would do. I am told that the Cracker Barrel CEO has spoken out. I've not corroborated this, but I am told that the Cracker Barrel CEO is now saying that they believe the backlash is a minority of their customers. Okay? If that is true, we're about to FAFO, Cracker Barrel, because your customer base is not happy with the decision to change that logo. I don't believe, I said it at the beginning of the show, I'll say it at the end of the show. I don't believe that the revamp of the interior of the Cracker Barrel is the issue, but the revamp of the logo is a problem for people. And if your customer base finds it's a problem, they're going to stop coming. What did we say that Cracker Barrel has lost in market share? $100 million?
Yeah, they lost $100 million at the close of the bell this afternoon.
It's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for a logo change. I suppose you believe that it will all smooth over in the end. We'll find out together. In the meantime, Kilmar Garcia has been released from a jail in Nashville, Tennessee. I do not know why ICE was not there to receive Kilmar Garcia, but they weren't. And apparently he is headed back to Maryland. Hopefully he will be apprehended there and detained by Immigration and Customs Enforcement officials. We mentioned Kamala Harris is coming to the Ryman, and I think Scotty wants to speak on that. What is up, Scotty?
Oh, my gosh. I can't believe that that's kind of like putting Octomom in charge of giving a speech at the Planned Parenthood. I mean, it's like, really? Are you kidding me? How does that happen in Nashville, Tennessee? I'm serious. When you're all talking about it, I go, no, I didn't hear that right. I just don't know about this. In Nashville, Tennessee, this is happening.
She's selling out. Look, man, she's selling out everywhere. She sold out the Alabama Theater in Birmingham, Alabama.
I don't know how it happened.
I do. These brainwashed, brain-dead liberals want to gather together and hug one another and cry and gnash their teeth and wonder what happened to the soul of the United States of America, and they're gonna throw a pity party, man.
I mean, it's kind of like wetting your pants in a dark suit. I mean, it makes you feel good, but nothing actually happens. You know what I mean? It's just I don't know. I don't get it. Especially in Nashville, I don't know. That's all right. But I'm a Texas boy, so. But I do like Georgia. So anyway, I'll let you go tonight. All right.
All right, Scotty. Thank you very much. I'm getting blistered on the Super Talk text line about my take on the moon. I have a difficult time believing that this is the most controversial take that I've made today. I mean, I've already said that Waffle House is superior in every way to Cracker Barrel. I thought that would be the most controversial take. I've said that I believed Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone. I thought that was pretty controversial. I have been on record for years as saying that Mount Rushmore looks half finished and they need to finish the job. Give those men torsos and clean up that rubble in the front of it. You ever been to or seen a photograph of Mount Rushmore?
Yeah.
They didn't even clean up the rock.
That's a lot of rock to clean up.
Well, but it looks crappy.
Yeah.
Clean the rock up.
Didn't government build that?
That's a good point. But I do want to leave on a high note. What I was getting to with 4317 says, you must think the government you must not think the government knows anything about UFOs. My God. Let me figure out that sentence structure. So you must not think the government knows anything about UFOs. I guess that means that I'm being accused of thinking the government doesn't know anything about UFOs. Well, I would say define UFOs. Like, what is a UFO? If a UFO is an unidentified flying object, well, obviously there have been plenty of UFOs. If you're telling me about space intelligence traveling to Earth to observe the movement of Earth creatures, I think we think a lot of ourselves, don't we? Why in the hell would they? If they have the technology, we're worse than apes to them. I mean, if other life forms have the ability and the technology to travel light years through space, maybe you could make an argument that there aren't that many life forms in the universe as advanced as even ours, and so far fewer advanced as theirs, and so they would want to see how we're coming along. But
maybe we're just a zoo to them, and they want to go to the zoo.
What was the movie where they were waiting on us to develop like hypersonic technology before they gave us the keys to the kingdom? There was some film out there that they were waiting on, and someone did it, and they were destined to do it. I can't remember.
Well, there was a Star Trek movie based on that the Vulcans knew we were here, and they left us alone until they caught a warp signature of the very first warp ship.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking about.
And then they were like, okay, these guys have warp drive. They're advanced enough.
Was James Cromwell in that movie?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking about. That's exactly what I'm thinking about. Okay, yeah. Okay, there you go. There you go. But then I get this from 4317. Matt, you're making a lot of assumptions about space if you think getting to the moon would be easier than faking it. No, what I'm saying is I think getting to the moon would be easier than faking it and then covering up a fake that would involve tens of thousands of people. Tens of thousands of people. And even if I gave the extreme benefit of the doubt, I would suggest that it involved at least what? How many people would have to know it was fake? A couple of thousand at least?
Yeah, at least. I mean, a lot of the people that were involved in the actual building and production wouldn't necessarily need to know, but anybody involved in the supposed executions got to know, and there were thousands of people. doing that.
So I think if you're going to continue that cover up, you got to be willing to kill a lot of people. There's going to be a lot of people that turn on you that decide that they want to tell tale, and you got to kill those people. You got to get rid of them. So you got a lot of murders going on. Now you're adding hitmen to the process. I believe that it would be easier just to go to the moon than to cover it up. 3021 says Mount Rushmore was a private build.
Was it?
I always assumed it was a government build. That's news to me.
Well, if it's a government build, that explains all the rock at the base. If it was a private build, we need some people to come back and clean up their crap.
Yes. And the family that's doing the what is that, Sitting Bull or Geronimo or whoever
Yeah,
it is?
I think
you know
it's
what I'm talking about?
Sitting Bull. I think
they got his head and like he's going to be his arm, but
he's on the horse and
that's what he's supposed to be.
Yeah. They're getting nowhere with it.
Well, but nobody told that family that the other people didn't act by themselves. They hired out some work. I mean, this family's like doing it on their own. Makes no sense. Let's leave you with some good news, though, real quick. I think we might have a deal with the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Jasper Hendricks, chair of the Metro Board of Fair Commissioners, told the Nashville Banner earlier this week that a deal between Metro Council and the Speedway Motorsports Incorporated organization to overhaul the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway and to bring top-tier NASCAR races back to the area is nearly ready to announce. Hendricks said there would be more to share over the next several days and or weeks. We have known this administration will need to make a decision on the fairgrounds racetrack. He says he believes that decision will be positive for the Fairgrounds Speedway and that there will be no financial obligation from the city whatsoever. I think most people will be pleased. They were able to address quite a few of the major obstacles based on the major concerns that we had, but there's still a few minor details to work out. Not everyone's going to be happy because we've got people that want to turn it into a green space, but we have a lot of green spaces around that property already. I don't understand how that would solve anything. Those people won't be happy. Nashville SC owner John Ingram won't be happy, he was quoted as saying. Well, let me tell you something. If John Ingram is not going to be happy about this deal, then that means it's a pretty darn good deal. And I'm excited about it. So fingers crossed we see this arrangement between Bristol and the city go through because it's going to mean big things for the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway and big things for Nashville, generally speaking. We wrap it up in just a moment. It's 52 after the hour. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. USS stands for United Structural Systems. The attitude, the culture of United Structural Systems has kept them in business for well over 30 years now. Since 1994, they've been assisting folks just like you. Their sole purpose, obviously they're foundation experts, they're waterproofing experts, they're concrete leveling experts, but their sole purpose, their goal, their mission statement is to serve their customers and receive a 100% satisfaction rating. Because they know when they do that, that means they're doing the job the right way. They never, ever, ever try to upsell you on anything. They're problem solvers, friends. When they come to your home, when you call them to your home, you've probably noticed the signs of doors sticking or windows sticking or perhaps moldy, mildewy smells coming out of your basement or crawl space. If that's the case, it's time to get with United Structural Systems. They're going to come out, diagnose the issue, and solve only that which needs solving. Keeping homes stable and dry since 1994. Over 30,000 satisfied customers at USS. USSTN.com, USSTN.com. Call 615-488-7855, 488-7855 for USS. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Plenty of deception out there without having to reach for it. Thank you for listening to the show. We appreciate each and every one of you. Dallas has written in and says, what about the Manhattan Project? A bunch of people kept their mouths shut during the Manhattan Project. Well, that's true. There was also a singular goal in mind in terms of keeping our mouths shut, and we know about it now. I mean, people kept their mouths shut for, what, a year and a half?
There came a point where that was no longer required, but if that point had not come, eventually it would have leaked.
It would have leaked. I mean, in my opinion, we know about it now. That's the point. The secret was a year and a half, 2 years, and then, boom, secret over. We got the boom. We've got the boom. My comment was, because several are like, what are you talking about? My comment was that I think it would be harder to continue the cover-up of a faked moon landing in 1969 than it would have been to land on the moon in 1969. And this has led to me defending the idea that 9/11 wasn't an inside job to cover up $2 trillion going missing. So my question to 9/11 conspiracy theorists is, if they were willing to kill that many people and destroy that much property, why don't they kill you?
I turned myself into a pickle and 9/11 was an inside job?
Yeah. I mean, why don't they kill you? Why don't they kill me for even bringing it up? And I understand, oh, I'm just a peon. A man that has a platform like you, I would not suggest pushing that narrative hard, but a little peon like me can talk about it. Joe Rogan talks about it. Joe Rogan is the biggest guy on the block when it comes to podcasts. Joe Rogan talks about 9/11 being an inside job all the time on his podcast. What about him? Why? So they're going to let people like that talk about it without killing them when they were willing to kill so many people? Very selective. Very selective. And I love you too, 5022. I love each and every one of you. I appreciate each and every one of you. 3550 is dead on it. 3550 says, well, see, Matt, you're a part of the cover-up. You're damn right I am. Well compensated, too. Thank you to Bell K, Headless Bell. Thank you to Ken Weaver, and thank you to you. Hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Mark Levin or Fairfax Simile is up next. We'll see you Monday. Until then, hug your loved ones. So long.